And hello, everybody, and welcome to the grand finals of the Overwatch 2 Banquet Bash, brought to you by Monkey Bubble Reflash right here at Confetti X Nottingham. My name is Crystal, your on-desk host for today, but it is not just my lovely voice you'll be hearing a lot of on this couch. I am also joined by our two lovely casters, so go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Dishy, one of the casters here. It's such a pleasure to be here. I've wanted to cast here for so long. I've worked with so many members of the team, so thank you very much to Monkey Bubble Reflash for inviting me here. But I'm not alone. Once again, I'm joined by Wicket as well.
Hey, you're a commentator. Yeah, incredible to be invited here to commentate the grand finals here. Again, Confetti's such a good venue. It's so good to be back here.
And obviously, we have our special little guest, little friend.
That's the real host right
here. He's the real host here. But yes, welcome everybody. Like we said, grand finals, a very kind of high pressure situation for everyone here today, I think. But we're in such a good venue, gonna have really good vibes. But let's go ahead and before we actually start the grands, let's talk about the road that the competitors had here before. So our day one was the Swiss qualifiers. Everyone kind of plays everyone. And then we did have a single elimination bracket the day after to see who qualifies for this grand finals. Now, obviously, these kind of qualification stages were a few weeks ago, so these teams have had a few weeks to prepare, but you guys were there for day one and day two of qualifiers. So talk us through kind of the experiences that these teams had on day one.
I mean, day one, for both days of the tournament so far, both of these teams have had fairly similar kind of roads to get here, but very slight difference. First day in Swiss, the first team, Loughborough, they went flawless. They did not lose a single game. Sussex, they only lost one game, and that was to Loughborough as well. So these two teams, they've been intertwined since the very start of this tournament. They've played each other. We saw who won last time. Will we see the same thing happen again?
I hope not. I hope we get a bit of a closer game. I hope the results vary a bit. Yeah, they both had very similar brackets in the Swiss part where they only lost to each other. And then in the second part as well, they had a very similar path as well, where they both went flawless to meet in grands, both only dropping one map in the entire part. So we'll be seeing a graphic of that later, but here we have some highlights of their adventures to get here.
I think the thing to highlight is literally, the only difference between these two teams is the fact that Loughborough has that one extra win, that win being over Sussex. That's the only thing that so far has separated and defined these two teams from one another in terms of this tournament. They are so close, and I'm very excited for this because, we'll get to it in a little bit when we talk about the teams in more detail, but they are fairly different in terms of their story and who they are, but in the context of this tournament specifically, they are so linked, they are so close to each other that this could really go any way.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about those troubles that these teams went through. So if we take a look at the bracket that we had from day two up until today, we can see that obviously both teams, very, very dominant runs both through this bracket. And they both have the exact same track record on day two, going 3-0 in game one and then 3-1 on game two. So honestly, I really think that this is going to be a really, really close grand finals. So you guys mentioned before that the only team that Sussex have lost to has been Loughborough. So what do you think this is going to mean for the grand finals here today?
I think the main detail is they've now got experience playing this team. They've had the highlight of it. They're going to, hopefully with the replay codes, they can look back at what went wrong in that game. They can go over it, reassess it, and figure out exactly how they can beat them this time. Of course, that's going to be the same situation that Loughborough are in. They know how they did it before. They know the winning formula. They just got to repeat it one more time to take the trophy here, to win here. That's quite big, of course. But once again, there's going to be a good chance that potentially Sussex have maybe switched up some strategies to try and fix those holes, to plug in those gaps, and that's something that Loughborough won't exactly know. Of course, we have just had a recent patch as well. That's going to be shaking things up as well in terms of the meta, in terms of the picks we may be seeing, which we'll get to later as well once you get into these teams. But I think that's really going to define it, is how they can adapt from their previous match into this grand final.
I was about to say, I think things have changed a little bit since the qualifiers. Both the patch is different. The Orisa was a big hero that Loughborough loved playing, and that she received a nerf a few days ago. Venture is now legal in this tournament. We'll get into that later. Some team roster change-ups on the Loughborough team as well. Some of the better players having to step down for various reasons. So this match might be a lot closer than the previous one.
Yeah, so now that we've gone through what these teams have had to go through to get to this point, let's introduce our two grand finalists, starting with Live, Laugh, Luff from Loughborough University. Obviously, these guys having an incredibly good track record through the entirety of the tournament. So we can have a look at maybe who their players are that we have competing today to become the Banquet Bash champions, and see if they have what it takes, because Loughborough are quite a good team, I think you guys have probably witnessed.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They are consistently kind of one of the top 8 teams within University Overwatch. They've always been here. They're kind of a mainstay, and I feel like they haven't always been the team that's challenging at the very, very top, but they're always there. They're consistently a team that's always in that conversation. They're always there. But the difference, of course, is that Sussex, they've got a bit of a different story, haven't they?
Yeah, well, Sussex Sharks, yeah, they have a definitely a bit of a different story as we look at some of their highlights here. Sussex, they haven't stuck with the same roster the entirety throughout their history as a team, but this one looks like it's going to be the one to maybe take a win. And before we go into that, let's talk about some of the picks that we're seeing in these highlights here. Obviously, quite aggressive picks, I'd say, like the Sojourn, like the Widowmaker, but I think there's one person we really need to talk about here for Sussex Sharks, and that is Pokester, renowned for being quite possibly a Roadhog one-trick.
Yeah, which is quite crazy to say, but at the same time, I love it. This is a really interesting pick. Of course, there is a bit of a risk because now Loughborough, they're going to know that he's playing the Hog one-trick. They're going to be ready to adapt to that. But at the same time, how often do you play against a Hog one-trick within like an official tournament scenario? Like, that is not a common thing to see. And that's going to be quite an exciting factor in this game.
This is definitely the star player that we've seen so far from Sussex. It's a lot of the rest of the team seems a lot more flexible. Pokester himself is pretty flexible. We saw a little bit of an Orisa and a little bit of a Rhine during earlier in top 8. But the comfort pick by far seems to be this Roadhog. And we're seeing here the performance that this Roadhog, it might be the reason they made it this far and they made it to grand finals here.
Yeah, and I mean, Roadhog isn't typically your usual meta pick, I'd say. I mean, we've just come out of a pretty heavy Orisa meta. Obviously, I say coming out of that now due to the nerfs that she's just received, but Roadhog, I mean, it just looks like he uses that sustain with the self-healing so well, and always landing those hooks on really, really important heroes on the enemy team just really helps Sussex with kind of the game plan that they have here. So I don't know. What do you guys think this Roadhog's gonna help Sussex maybe
I think
take some games off of Loughborough?
It's definitely a danger. Like we said, Orisa's been nerfed. A lot of these teams, they're gonna be prepared to play Orisa or play against Orisa. So, you know, Loughborough potentially, they're gonna have to kind of switch things up now that Orisa may not be as viable. Of course, still the early days of this patch, so maybe that won't be the case. And like you said earlier, the roster history here, it's been crazy. There have been the same kind of core of this team, Ruler being part of every single iteration of this team, and other players like AJX, Neo kind of coming in and out. And from talking to these players, they were together through 2021, 22. This year, they took a bit of a separate approach. They went off to different teams. They finally come back, and this is the first tournament where this 5-man roster, or I guess 6 actually, are together for it. And clearly, this is the winning formula, going like, losing 1 game in Swiss, none in the single elimination to get here to this final. Clearly, this is the formula that they needed.
It's a very good formula as well. Pokester being a very confident tag player, it seems, leading the charge with that Hog. Neo and Ruler swapping roles sometimes for the DPS and support roles, but in general, both very strong in their respective positions. AJX, very comfortable on the Genji and in general on Flex DPS as it is. So hopefully we'll be seeing some Genji, some Echo from them.
Yeah.
As we see, since this roster came together.
I think the crazy thing here is just look at Sussex. Going from a team in open division, Group 5, Div 3, quite low down, climbing into Group 2, into Div 2, and then Spring 2024, they got into Div 1. They have climbed. They have been playing in this core for such a long time in terms of University CS. They have been building to this point. They are now reaching their pinnacle going into these next couple of seasons, assuming they're not graduating. Loughborough, of course, they've been not as storied, but look at their results, much more consistent. A third in like 2 seasons back to back. They are consistently one of these top teams, as I said earlier. Whereas Sussex, they've had a long road to get to this point, and now they are going to fight for it. They are not going to waste this opportunity at all.
Well, another very interesting point that we have for these grand finals is the thing that everyone's talking about, the new hero venture. Obviously not able to be played during the qualification stages, but We are spicing things up, and they are available to be played in this grand finals. So I'll quickly run you through all of their abilities. So their passive is that they gain a shield upon using all of their abilities, which I think is quite interesting, you know, getting a bit more sustain on that DPS roll. Their main weapon, the Smart Excavator, is a burst after they fire their shot. A bit more close range, not much range to it, but acting like a nice close range bit of damage. Their drill dash is one of their abilities where they get to dash forward with their drill, as the name entails, and does end up knocking some enemies back. Their burrow is their other ability, moving underground and becoming invulnerable to just kind of get a bit more movement around. And then their ultimate, the Tectonic Shock, sending out damaging shockwaves. Now, my question for you guys is, do you think Venture's going to be played today?
Possibly. I think if there's anyone, it's going to be Sussex. It's going to be them trying to use that unknown factor just to throw off Loughborough. The team that, you know, they've played a lot in this high level, of course, Loughborough, the high university level. They may not be expecting someone who they have no experience with, and I really feel like Venture could just be that factor that Sussex need just to mess with their heads a little bit more and find their way to taking the victory here.
I'd love to see Venture. Their kit is incredible. It reminds me of Overwatch 1 Doomfist. Just you go in, you use your abilities, you get some sustain with a shield. The one hit potential when you combo your abilities is very high. Sadly being nerfed recently, but I'd still love to see them being played here in the grand finals.
I think their impact could be very interesting. But let's take a look at what maps we are going to be witnessing today. Obviously, a wide variety of the majority of the game modes at the moment. We don't have the new one, the 5 CP one, because it is
Fortunately.
very new.
Fortunately.
But as we can see from the map list here, we do have a wide variety, and we have gone through a pick and ban system like we did in the qualifiers. So, I mean, are there any maps that really stand out to you guys that you saw specific teams do really well on during quals?
For me, not particularly, but I just want to cover this pick and ban system. I love it. Of course, I come from other FPS games where we always just have you pick and ban the maps before the series. Overwatch, you kind of always had that kind of the loser picks. This is like the perfect mix of both of those systems, to the point where you're still adapting as you're going on. You're still learning from your opponents. And I love that. That is brilliant. And yeah, I'm really excited for this match. Hopefully, this system, we may avoid just the classic, you know, we see Lijiang, and then we see Kings Row, and then we see the same maps over and over, and hopefully we see something a little different.
I'm a big fan as well, being best of 7. Hopefully that gives a lot of time for both teams to kind of learn what the opposition wants to do, what they're doing, especially when maybe some more wacky heroes are in the mix. You need them a longer time to adapt and get used to what they're doing. So I'm hoping that comes into play, and Sussex and Loughborough can both just use that to their advantage to gain knowledge, and hopefully the games get better as we go on.
Well, yes, thank you guys so much for your time. That is all we have for the pre-show today, but I am lucky enough to throw you guys down to the on-stage host down in the Confetti X venue. So your in-stage host, Dry Salad XXL, take it away.
Thank you so much, Scarlett, and welcome everybody to the Confetti X Arena in Nottingham, where we are just about ready to get on away with our first games for the afternoon. I am your stage host for this evening, Dry Salad XXL, Salad for short, joined on stage by our two lovely team captains who are going to take us through a little bit of their journey for getting here. After that, we'll be heading straight into our first games, getting the hype going, getting all that energy ready to see which of these two teams will lift the crown of the Overwatch 2 Banquet Bash. But don't take it from me. I'm going to be handing over to these two in just a second to talk to me a little bit about their journey, how they got here. So first things first, team captains, I want to ask you guys to introduce yourselves to the audience here, the audience at home, give a little bit of maybe backstory into your teams, how you were created, how you came up with your lovely little names, the Sussex Sharks, the Live, Laugh, Luff, obviously a little bit of wordplay there. Introduce yourselves, introduce your teammates, just anything that you wanted to say personally about how you got here.
I mean, hi, I'm Crab from Live, Laugh, Laugh. I mean, we've had an interesting journey here. We're all pretty washed. We've got two people off rolling today, a Valorant player filling in, someone's incredibly hungover. We're missing half our team. We've just brought anyone together. This is just going to be for fun. We've brought an entire subs bench. We're just here to have fun and hopefully enjoy ourselves.
Fantastic. If you want to pass the mic down.
Hello, I'm Poster from Sussex Sharks. Yeah, my team and I went out last night as well. Half of us smoked some probably spiked weed. So, yeah, we're here for fun as well. I'm just gonna play Roadhog, probably get counter swapped, but yeah, it is what it is. Here we are.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to pretend that I only heard half of that statement there. Fantastic. Great to hear. It's lovely that you guys know how to get loose, know how to relax yourselves before a big tournament like this. Obviously, it can be a little bit stressful to be in a environment like this. Talk to me a little bit about the journey to getting here. Have you guys performed at a LAN before? Is this your first time at a LAN? What was it like, sort of the stages of getting here, through the knockouts, through the play-ins, through all of that, to get to a venue like this? Are you excited, and do you think you have what it takes to take that Overwatch Banquet Bash Championship? Do you think you have the bottle? Do you think you have the nerve to actually take it all the way now?
I mean, yeah, as it was shown earlier, we went undefeated in groups, and in Swiss, we've had 2-3 different rosters through our qualifiers. We've had people missing for both of those. We're missing people again today, but we're not too worried about winning. The main thing is that we're just here to enjoy ourselves and have a mess about, but I do think we can win, of course.
Fantastic.
I mean, we're here as well, same sort of situation. We're here for fun. We're trying to try and win. We're not too hopeful. I'm just going to play Roadhog and have fun and from shift, hit the vibes really.
That is great to hear. Now, just one last question. Do you guys have any last little statements you want to make for the crowd, for the people at home? Anything you want to say to each other before you get out there? It can be sportsmanlike, it can be greasy, it can be dirty. Anything that you want to say before we get out there and start battling out for that crown?
We miss you a beak. Come back, please.
Please don't go arrest or I'll cry.
That is beautiful. Well, if you two want to head back now, join your teams. It was lovely to hear from both of you. We are just about ready to head into our first games for the evening. Before that, we have a little bit of content to get you through. But the teams are getting ready. I know I am ready for everything that we have in store for you today. One last time, Nottingham, are you ready? That's what we love to hear. That'll be it from me from now. You're going to see a little bit more of me over the course of the afternoon. I leave you in the hands of our lovely production team and the talent team from upstairs. Goodbye.
Aimset grew like a set of arms or something. I don't know what's happened right now. Aimset's going crazy.
Disengaging. Okay, maybe you kill the Roadhog. Oh! Where it's not enough to just win a fight and then everyone cleanly disengage.
No. Back at you, friend. Back at you.
at that, but now only 2 teams remain. Live, Laugh, Laugh taking on Sussex Sharks to find out who your champions of the Banquet Bash will be. My name is Dishy, joined here by Wicket. A best of 7 to determine your champions. How are you feeling about this?
I am looking forward to this so much. These two teams are so similar in how their journeys here, yet so different in how they play and how they the individual struggles they had to get here. So the stories here are incredible. I'm looking forward to watching this. I'm hoping for a set 7 banger, and I couldn't be happy to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, the stories throughout this tournament, we said it on the desk as well. They're so similar, but their histories, the stories that the teams have had throughout their time in University Overwatch, completely different. What is your prediction? What scoreline do you think we're seeing in this game?
Oh, my prediction. Well, so the last one was what, 3-1 to Loughborough, was it? A few things have changed. Loughborough having to change up their team a little bit. They have 5 players on here. They have a few in the back. They have a few substitutes, so they could come here if they need later. Sussex having the classic 5 that they were had the entire time. So I think I'd like to see a 4-3 for Loughborough, 4-2 maybe, depending on how quickly they adapt to this Roadhog and the composition here. Well, how about you?
I mean, I'm going to be bold. I'm saying it's going to be a 4-2. 4-2 is where I'm going with this. I don't know which way, but I think we're going to see a long game. I think this is going to be a challenging one for both of these teams. But like you said, some of these teams, they've got substitutes. They've got extra players. They've got fresh players to bring in just in case that they need to switch anything up. I'm so excited. I have no idea how this is going to go. Like we said, Loughborough, there's history. There's consistency in the way they've played. They have always been one of those top teams, but it's not always been the same case. They were Sussex. They've taken their time to build up to this point in Open Division, in Group 5, and finally making it all the way into Div 1 in the last season. They have taken their time to get here, but they are not going to waste it. That is for sure. And hopefully getting into map 1 fairly soon, we should be able to find out what that map is as well. Like we said, interesting veto system, and I love it. I am so excited. Are there any maps that you're wanting to see played today?
I'd like to see... I think Cervasa is very good. Both of these players, both of these teams, like some of the more long-range heroes, it makes Roadhog a little more difficult to play around, play with even, so you have to think a little bit more of a open... There's quite... In general, when there's 5 different points you can play around, every single point plays a little bit differently, but in general, I like Cervasa a lot. When it comes to this first point, which is going to be control, Ilios is just a classic.
I was going to say, like, there's pretty much guaranteed. There is like a 99% chance we are seeing a Roadhog in this server. Ilios is kind of the expected destination here. A little bit of a change up from the kind of the usual, I guess, we see in terms of the first control map. It's not always that. But I love it. I think Ilios is a great map for it, and especially for this road domain. But also, remember, these teams have bans. Maybe they've realized that and they go, no, we do not want to even touch Ilios when there's a Roadhog around. Let's just avoid it completely. We're going to ban it. That is a potential factor within this.
Yeah, Loughborough, because as the higher seed, do get to pick the first map. So after all the bans are gone, Loughborough gets the first pick, and then after that, it's the loser of the previous game. So Loughborough do get a ban in this situation, and could... and then do get to pick a final map. So even if they don't ban Ilios, they don't necessarily need to pick it.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see what they ban here based off of their compositions. Both of these teams have very strong hit scan players. So the Ruins on Ilios, for example, would maybe Loughborough do want to challenge them there. But like the other points are sort of very hog favored.
There's a lot of aggression within this server, and I really feel that's going to take a factor into it. Like you said, Ilios is a map that can really favor that strong, aggressive DPS play. And if we see that happen, I have a feeling that these two teams are just going to keep clashing over and over again, just a war of attrition, just because both of them, they're so similar in this. Of course, the last time they played, the previous fixture, it was a much stronger game towards them, but we're going to be getting into the map veto just now. Very exciting. Live, Laugh, Love taking that first ban, as you said. I'm very looking forward to this. And yeah, there we have it. Ilios being banned. That is such a crucial one, and that's definitely going to throw a spanner into the works there for Sussex. But their ban, what do you think they've chosen here?
I think it might have to be... Oh!
Okay. You know what? I kind of forgot the Smoas in this map pool completely. I feel like I don't really see it too often, but okay, fair enough. Understandable choice. And of course, Live, Laugh, Love, the team that get to pick the map as well. Banning Ilios, they've really kind of manipulated this first map into their control by taking off that Ilios pick, completely just gone, not allowing that to go through. And of course, there we go. We've ended back up at Lijiang. Nothing changes.
No matter what system you implement in university esports, some things are just constant.
It's like the whole thing of how animals slowly all evolve into becoming crabs. Eventually, every single veto system ends up being Lijiang, King's Row, etc., etc. But you know what? Fair enough. I mean, I think that says a lot about Loughborough. They want to take the safe pick. They're wanting to take the pick, which, sure, they know their opponent's going to be good at, but they know that they're good at as well. They're making sure that they're comfortable. They're feeling out their opponent for this first map. Of course, best of 7. There's a couple chances where you can kind of, not throw the game, but you can afford to take a bit of a loss just to build up and understand what your opponent's doing. So, Lijiang, it makes sense. It makes sense that they have chosen the map which they can kind of afford to struggle a little bit more on just because their opponents do understand it. Of course...
Oh.
Okay. We have had a slight correction there. It's not Lijiang. We have, I would like to say, we have paid off the admins here, and it is Busan. We are going to... I'm joking, of course. But yes, we're going to go to Busan, which, you know what? I quite like that. Brilliant map. Interesting, we are not going to Lijiang. Of course, we do have some tech balls. It's going to be fixed fairly soon, but... You know what? I'm happy with that. It gives us a bit of time to talk about this map as well. Going to Busan, not the Lijiang that we expected. We're not seeing the usual Lijiang King's Row, but Busan? Okay.
Give it a few more years, and then your crab theory about Lijiang will become true. But for now, we're still evolving, and we're on Busan. Busan makes a lot of sense for Loughborough here, but the points in general tend to be more open. Mecha base is incredibly open with a lot of high grounds to put their strong DPS players on. The city as well, very open. Like it doesn't give a lot of space for a Roadhog to play around and try play. Hog usually wants to play a corner or something, hook people into the trap. But there's not really a lot of opportunity to do that on Busan, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they can really use this to their advantage. This is the thing I love about vetoes, and it's why I was never a big fan of the whole loser picks the map system. Is that there's an extra tactic here. You can kind of... I feel like in Overwatch, maybe not as much as other FPS games, where you can kind of say that you can win the map in the veto, but here you can very much take control of the map just based off of the veto, like we saw there. Ilios being that first ban, avoiding the Hog one-trip map is such an important factor that they've done. And then going to Busan as well is a map which they can kind of use to their advantage. And that's going to be quite exciting to see here. Do you think this is going to go 3 points, or do you think this is only going 2?
I think all 3. I think the Hog can play magic on some of these points. There are enough angles to play around, and the team obviously has played with a Hog for a very long time, so they're very comfortable with it, and they're very experienced around playing around this point. And as well as this, please stick with that character.
And looks like we're getting into the game in just a second as heroes are being picked, and that's a venture right there. Okay, starting it off straight away, throwing a curveball instantly into this game. That's a very exciting thing to do. Like we said, they may be trying to use this first map to feel things out, to try and throw things off, and that is the perfect way to do it. I don't actually know which team that was, but
do we know which team that was?
But here's the thing. That opposition, they're not really going to understand how to counter this just yet. That hasn't been perfected. That hasn't been fully understood. And that's definitely going to concern things. But no more waiting, no more theorizing. We are going into the game. And in fact, it's Sussex Sharks. AJX taking out the...
What happened to fun?
Boo!
What happened? But it makes sense. Sussex are on the big stage. We don't get the opportunity often to be on a LAN advance, a LAN sort of situation, so you want to play your best. You want to pull out the best characters and give yourselves the best chance.
Absolutely. Live, laugh, love. Taking point straight away, going towards it. Sussex Sharks playing a little bit further back just for now and waiting, trying to bait people in, using that Hog to their advantage. And as we've already seen here, Fried on the Tracer is caught out just a little bit, getting chased down here by David on the Torp. But now the rest of the team starting to come in. Pokester already taking out 2, in fact. Dabingo does fall. It's a bit of a trade there, and already the tanks battling out. Pokester does just have to run. Catches out David as well. That's absolutely massive. Low, 70 health. He's taking out Crab as well. Look at this. Pokester, the one-man army, currently demolishing Live, Laugh, Love. Sits down, takes it in instantly.
Holy! Pokester taking everybody in that fight, going in the backline, infinite pressure applied to him, but with that self-sustain and Bakiriko and the rest of the team supporting him, he just stayed alive.
Well, what I was going to say is that Sussex are playing a bit further back, just trying to take a couple picks using the Hog's hook. No, he's just ran in and found the entire team instantly, pretty much. They've got the point, already up to 20% right now. Second fight starting now, and that Malgar and Booga looking pretty good, and David finally training back some revenge onto Pokester, Ruler, Debingo, both down, support's gone. Neophyte does get one trade back there, but it's not looking too good, and Live, Laugh, Love instantly. Anything you can do, I can do better, they say, as they take the point after that second fight.
That was a very nice engage from Live, Love, Love, using a lot of abilities to just jump onto the Sharks whilst they had used their cooldowns a little too early. Sojourn using the jump a little early, Kiriko teleporting a little too early, and they noticed that and used... Ooh,
what a hook!
And we just punished that very well, but here, Pokester starting to... You have to play for around the hook when there's a hog on the thing, and we'll see them adapt maybe later to that, but for now, still getting those big hooks.
Absolutely, a great initiation to start making this push in. Ult online as well. Kasune does come out. We also see, oh, Booga! His ult cancelled, denied there. Pokester's just found two. He's using it to his advantage. Absolutely demolishing this point. I saw Booga pull out the ult, and I thought, okay, that's it. This is going to be a mess. Pokester instantly answers back, wiping it out, and they're taking the point back. This is exactly what we expected to see. Back and forward from both of these teams over and over. It's who can just take this final little advantage, this final little push. And Pokester once again maybe looking for another initiation off the back of this hook. But still, now we're starting to see it. They're pulling back a little bit more, playing a bit more careful. The ultimates are coming online. They're letting them start to take the point a little bit.
Yeah. Gets one, gets two. Lucio popped on the side of Live, Laugh, Love, but is it going to be enough to survive his Sojourn? It did not. Kiriko also committed there, but it just... Nobody was there to use it.
Not at all. Like that is perfect from Sussex Sharks. They stayed back a little bit. They waited. They let the ultimates come in, and then they pushed in. And after that, once they were almost settled, Sussex Sharks instantly completely shakes things up and completely backs them into a corner here. Up to 80% now. Another fight starting now, and Neophyte, a great little flank hit, does a bit of damage, but is caught out and is hindered, is able to escape. But in the end, Ogini does finish the job, starts to make the push onto the point. D.Va now for Booga as well. Now they're going to let them cap it this time. It looks like they will. They're going to let them take it. They do get the pick onto David, but instantly they let it cap it. Pokester initiating this fight, pushing in, beat online, a great hook again onto Ogini, finds the kill. And oh no, Booga as well, starting to get pushed back. I don't know if this fight is really favoring him. Pokester looking amazing once again. Crab, Durkee, Jake as well, both falling, and D.Va so close to losing that Meg. Booga just about fighting, just about surviving. It's not going to be enough. Will be demegged, but still, they have not capped just yet. Contesting just a little longer, hiding on top as well. Will eventually fall, but does give a little bit of extra percentage over to Live, Laugh, Love, but up to 95%. Can they even contest this? They're going to have to make the push. Oh, the counter Kitsune as well to prevent that. Not even going to touch the point, and Sussex Sharks drawing first blood. They take that first point.
Lucio getting hooked there at the end. No, this point is just not going to be touched. That was incredibly well played by the Sussex Sharks. But Pokester outputting so much damage to the other team and just so much pressure with that hook. Loughborough maybe not prepared for it yet. Maybe Pokester's just better, but a lot of very critical hooks were being connected in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Pokester was just the one initiating so much of that just off the back of those hooks, and he was so strong. He was able to kind of play a much more passive role. Also, a great, like we saw, that first fight, stormed his way in and found everyone. And a bit later on, he stood back a bit, waited for them to come in and then push. He's able to kind of completely adapt to the situation so well, and it is working so successfully. Of course, the D.Va pick didn't get to see too much of it in that last point. We're now seeing that come out. Will we see that really have any effect on this?
In general, I think I'm a fan of this D.Va pick here. Although Defense Matrix doesn't block hook, it does allow you, combined with your flight, to go and try and protect the person who got hooked, which is very important here. But yeah, like we see there, Defense Matrix absolutely covering up and just putting so much pressure on Pokester now. But the full team resources committed to him, and he makes it out alive.
He's made it out, and also look at D.Va's position, completely caught out on an island right now. The rest of the team starts to come in, and Sussex looking to rotate, take the high ground, and try and punish Live, Laugh, Love as they've done in the previous game once again. Another pick onto Ruler early on. The hook not successful. Pokester will fall, and Live, Laugh, Love looking to come out on top in this fight. The last couple of people trying to contest as long as they can. It's not enough. Live, Laugh, Love taking this first fight pretty strongly there as well, and I mean, that was exactly what we wanted to see from them, being able to counter that. Like you said, exactly. Almost the second you said it, Booga taking the vanguard there with that defense matrix. Instead of using it to kind of defend the hook, which you can't do, using it to defend the damage when they are hooked. Because, of course, they're not going to hook the D.Va, really. They're going for those much more weaker characters. But they've just used that to their advantage. Pokes are now looking to get some revenge. Misses the hook, though. Hindered, slowed down. And the push coming straight onto Pokes, getting forced back now by Bugha. You see that nuke come online, that can be very, very dangerous. Pokester just about letting boots into the train. Massive there from Bugha. Nuke coming out as well. Gonna just bring back their mech into full health there. Kitsune Rush coming out, ult after ult, and Neophrite just trying to cling on. Gets the health pack, still trying to fight this as well though.
Despite losing Pokester so early, they actually ended up trading positively here, and despite the nuke also on the side of Live Laugh Love, Sussex Sharks just found the picks they needed to... Yeah, there we go. Finally, didn't want to curse anything there.
I think that's a very good point here as well, is that, yeah, we talk about Pokester being that kind of a star player, the Hog 1 main, but they don't need that. They don't always need that. They are still a confident team. Even when their tank dies, they are still able to fill in those gaps and take the point just like that. Pokester had a bit of a messy fight there, but it didn't even matter. The rest of the team was able to step up, finish the job, and great hook there as well. High Nude coming out, and it's not enough for the defense matrix. They're completely blocking any damage coming from the window. Very, very strong play once again from Bugha, being incredibly impressive in this game. This fight almost looking like a stalemate. These ultimates that came out really have just found nothing so far. A great hook, and once again, Pokester initiates everything here. AJX closes the ultimate. Bugha could almost get demeched here as well. Tries to flee and may just about make it out alive, but AJX gets aggressive, finds the first pick. Bugha just trying to flee. Lucio as well comes back in, and Crab has just died. What was that? Why has he just gone backwards?
Look at... who knows? Look at AJX's position that entire game. On the high ground, completely separate from the rest of the team, but no pressure applied to him. He was just... There's no real hero on Live Laugh Love that can go and contest him. Without Soldier and Dash, you can just run away from any pressure, and he was just... had infinite firing range right there, whilst the rest of the team looked at the big scary hog.
Yeah, that works so well, but instantly both social knots online, and Ajax is the one to full beat coming out for both teams as well. Mirrored ultimate back and forward right now as the point contested. Live Laugh Love trying to take it. Nuke online. Bugha will get their mech back. Pokester as well, trying to use the whole hog. Does actually get OG out, and Crab falling as well. And Sussex Sharks, a messy fight, but looks like they will come out on top once again. And Sussex Sharks, this game falling into their hands now.
What was your prediction again? 2-0, 2-1?
I thought this was going to be a 2-1 in this game. That's not going to be the case, but the look of it so far, just the way they're playing. Bull coming out to try and counter anything, just to get a little contest. Oh no! He's hit the wall. He will just about make it onto the point. He will get some kind of overtime in this, but Pokester goes on the aggression once again. Kiriko instantly falls, and Pokester storming his way up, fighting through overtime, still online.
The sneakiest hog in the West, going on the flank there, getting the Kiriko early, and that just cuts the sustainability of Live Laugh Love in half. And that first map going to the Sussex Sharks.
That is exactly what they want to do. Like we've said, they're the team that had a lot longer of a journey to get to be one of these top teams within Overwatch, University Overwatch. They haven't been there. They've had to take a long road to get to this point. And clearly, finally, this is the team they need. This is the composition that they have been waiting to find. They take the first map. That is brilliant, because Live Laugh Love, this was their pick as well. They chose Busan. They said, the ball is on our court, come take it. Sussex, they have done just that. First map going their way.
What's interesting to know is the compositions being used there. The support players on the side of Sussex usually preferring to go to Kiriko, since they're playing with a Roadhog, which is under pressure, under a lot of pressure of a lot of different abilities, especially Anna's nade, where if your hog gets hit with an anti-heal nade, you're just... The hog is a survivability kind of half a little. So the first point they rolled out with the Kiriko, but the second point, they had a Bab.
Yeah.
And no Anna ever came out from the side of Live Laugh Love.
I feel like with Anna, it's just a case of, you know the Kiriko is going to be there. You're trying to use the Anna to counter the hog, but you know it's not going to work because of the Kiriko, so why waste that support when you can just have it on someone else? Like, it's one of those things where you kind of have to think 2 steps ahead instead of just trying to go for the direct counter. You know that the Anna's not going to work. Go for someone else. Don't waste that time. Don't waste that extra, like, 10%. Of course, in the end, it still didn't matter. The composition that the Sussex had there was just so strong, and it was so successful, but still, as you can see there, smiles on the players' faces. They know there's still a long way to go, but they took that first map. Off to a great start here for Sussex. Live Laugh Love going into the second map, though. What do you think they can really do to to kind of bounce back and maybe potentially make this a 1-1 situation?
I think they could definitely, first of all, start with the Ana because Sussex just got so comfortable they swapped onto the BAP. The BAP also maybe a little bit better on that point there with the high grounds immediately available next to the point. But in general, you want to keep the team honest. You don't want to give them too much space. So even if the Ana nade can be reduced by the Kiriko Suzu, you at least force them onto the Kiriko. What else I'd like to see? Maybe a different tank. The D.Va obviously...
It was a good choice.
Yeah, no,
they played it well.
There were moments where it was very obvious, or at least commit to the D.Va. When they did successfully fully commit to a dive, like... when they fully committed to the dive and the D.Va, you know, did jump onto AJX, we saw in one of those points, instantly deleted. It went well, but they just didn't commit to it often enough. And the fights were a little too scrappy, and in those scrappy fights, the Hog finds... The Hog has what, 6 seconds of cooldown? That's so many kill opportunities right there. Whereas a D.Va is a little too honest in these mid-fight like scrappy fights and engagements.
I think the thing as well is that this isn't someone who's just switching to Hog for the game. This is someone who is a Hog main. Like you can't really just play for that a small counter like that. It's not gonna work. That was kind of the issue there. Is like the D.Va plays were great. Having that proactivity to push in when your player is hooked to prevent any damage coming to him, that's brilliant. But at the same time, you're now having to waste both of your abilities just to prevent that one player from dying, and suddenly everyone else from the rest of Sussex can just storm in around you, and suddenly it was a mess. That's what kept happening. It was a great choice to switch to D.Va, but clearly they still need to make a couple more changes if they want to try and find a second map here.
Yeah, committing to that dive could be good. Swapping to maybe a Sigma to block the hook in general, shield, and in general try avoid some of the pressure output by Sojourn and potentially a BAP or something. In a similar vein, Ramatra could be pretty good. Also just going directly to contest this Hog, and also you have your big man form to, you have your Nemesis form to bail you out of jail if you ever need it. I think I want to see more pressure output on the other teammates on Sussex. I want to see the backline pressure a little more. I want to see the DPS contest a little
I
more
always
often.
hate over-focusing on the tanks, but that's the thing, is this game is just about all the tanks a lot of the time, and this is the most clearest it's ever been, really. Booga versus Pokester, two very strong tanks, and really are the forefront of these teams. And clearly, there's a reason why it's so important here. It's just how strong both of these players are. I mean, that first fight, the first impressions we had in this match, Pokester just storms his way through the entire team. Like, that is exactly what we kind of expected to see from him, and he is showing exactly why this team's here, why that he was that almost the missing factor with this core, because he wasn't part of that original core. He has not been playing this team, you know, since going back to like the 2021 roster. He's coming a bit later, but here finally escort bands coming through. Route 66 gone instantly. Live Laugh Love take that out. Junkertown as well.
That makes sense.
Thank God.
What
is gone?
If you're playing Roadhog, the sightlines are way too long on Junkertown.
Absolutely.
It may be his hometown, but it's not where he thrives. But Gibraltar being picked here.
Okay.
I think this is, from what I remember in the top 8, this might be the map that Sussex ended up losing when they dropped to a map. I believe, yeah. I remember seeing Pokester play Arissa and Reinhardt on this map, so forced for some reason to move away from the Hog. So very strong map choice from Live Laugh Love, especially with a little bit more of a flexible team comp they have. D.Va, if they want to commit to the D.Va here, this is a very good map to do so.
They're clearly working with this veto system well. They understand how it works now. They understand the fact that they need to not just be picking the map that they're good at, but also their opponent could potentially be bad at. But of course, like you said, Pokester was not playing Hog that time. Maybe we'll see a difference here. Maybe we'll see that Hog come back out. Maybe we will see a bit of Venture, but that's not going to be the case. We are seeing the Widow come out straight away from Neofried, potentially looking just to get that early pick, and Pokester on the Hog, but also so is Booga. Booga is taking the Hog. He's taking the Hog game to Pokester. That's a very bold choice.
Now, I need to see him leave spawn first. I need to see. No, there we go. All right, so Live Laugh Love basically locked into this team. They have the Cassidy. They have gone with the Ana and the Kiriko here.
Okay.
As well as the double hit scan backline and then a Booga on D.Va.
Interesting that they're going back to the D.Va.
The Ana might try help keep these everybody on the high ground nice and healthy. They don't need to run away. They can try keep their ground with an Anna's healing output. But we'll see how that actually goes. With Neophyte on the Widowmaker, doesn't matter if you're how much healing you have if you just get one-shot by this Widow.
It's a great way to start, a great way to just begin that push is by getting a pick on the Widow, but it's really just a matter of how long you're actually going to hold this. Yeah, sure, currently Live, Laugh, Love, they're having to play quite far back because of the Widow, but how long are you going to stay there? How long are you going to be playing a little further away from your team and not having as much impact outside of the rare frag? And of course, instantly we are going to see a hook missed there by Pokester. We are seeing that D.Va start to try and make a way in, trying to come back out. David providing some cover, and so far, very slow push. They start to make the one-in Pokester. Absolutely assaulted. Oh my, not in the end. But look at that. Asleep, a nade, everything thrown on them. Plus the defense matrix just to block any healing, but it wasn't enough. It almost was. It almost wasn't enough to get them out. Of course, Pokester did die in the end, but that just shows how strong this Hog pick is.
Yeah, Debingo tried his best to save him there, but it wasn't enough. This AJX here on the Echo going to be put under a lot of pressure against Cassidy Ash. This is a very difficult DPS line to play Echo into.
Absolutely, yeah, instantly oppressed, gone. Pokester now having to drop back. Brilliant hook round the corner as well. Look at that.
A little too late.
The Suzu was used as well to keep them alive. Pokester knows that. Is looking to try and get a bit more aggressive here. Not enough, and we'll just have to drop out. Waiting for their team back towards the spawn now, but just look at that again. Sure, the hook wasn't enough to get the kill, but the pressure from it was absolutely massive. It forced them to use the Suzu just to get a Booga out. And now AJX getting close to the ultimate already. Will we see a very quick ultimate? Another great hook. Will they escape? Booga!
D.Va makes it out alive and takes Ruler in the process. That's very important. You can't. Without, there's one pick though. Maybe Live Off Love gave up a little too much here. But I think they're in such a strong position with these high grounds. It's very difficult to contest them with a Hog. But Neophyte and AJX can try their best, but with the support of a Kiriko and an Anna, it's going to be very difficult to dislodge these DPS.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same strategy that
go for the Anna though.
Neophyte.
It's not the DPS.
Could almost get it.
But doesn't look like the Kiriko just saving the Anna there though. Oh, we're going behind for the Kiriko instead. Will it be enough? David on the high ground, but contested by AJX.
The thing is though, yeah, sure it was enough to get the kill, but they have distracted both those supports for quite a long time. In the end, it's not enough. We are now seeing a second tank come onto this team. AJX though, quite low already, just about keeping alive with that replication. It is working quite well as well. Already finding one pick onto the cast. Can they find any more? Nuke coming out will prevent anyone. Double nuke, in fact, but still not enough. And they will take the point. Sussex Sharks in the end do take it. And I just want to highlight, yeah, Pokester, the strategy he was using with the, he used it over and over again. And Live, Laugh, Love, they never adapted to it. Sure, first time Booga did escape and is now actually on the Hog. I have just realized Cassidy was unable to escape and did die, and that really initiated that entire sequence.
Live Off Love used all their ults to fight. They committed all of their ults to try save that point there, and it just wasn't enough. Using them not using them close enough together, using them all separately in their own independent fights. And
it felt so disjointed.
Yeah, they just weren't able, it was too scrappy. They just weren't able to find their targets. But as you pointed out, Booga on the counter Hog now. We'll see how this goes, because going against the Hog extraordinaire himself, would it work? There's so much pressure brought all the DPS, but connects it. Oh, teleports out, not getting hit by the pulse bomb there.
Big save, and Pokester suddenly low. Booga almost getting the pick there. Both of them evened out. Neophyte does have to escape, and suddenly this is looking like almost like a bit of a stalemate between these two Hogs. Both hooks cancelled out by the payload there, but now Pokester hit with the B, hit the whole Hog. Booga will die, pushing back, and suddenly, almost instantly, an absolute snowball looking to take this second point. It's just down to David trying to contest this, joined up by Derpy Jake. It's not enough. Both of them will fall, and in short succession, both of those points go their way.
Yeah, Sussex Sharks just had ults available to them. Live Off Love had there was no real fight for them to generate any ult charge. It was just a lot of poking until the very end. They just never contested the car. So Sussex Sharks just had the ult charge that they had from the previous fight when Live Off Love used all of theirs, and were just able to use that few ults to just get the last little bit of push we needed there. Very well played from them, and very well identified.
Absolutely crucial for them to get that, and AJX looking to find anything with that Echo pick. Still quite oppressive, but now we do have David on the trace. That's going to give them a little bit more space to work with. Neophyte just about lives. Kitsune coming out for Live, Laugh, Love as they begin their counter, but it's the same on the other side. And Pokester, once again, he's going to find a second. Booga will fall, unsuccessful so far on that Hog. AJX looks to show his Hog ability now as well.
Double Hog on the side of Sussex. This is an intimidating sight.
That is brutal. They are going to absolutely flatten that entire defense. I mean, Booga so far, this Hog pick,
It's not working. They have 3 minutes remaining to get this last point here. This is so... They have Live Love Love have the ultimate. They're going to commit it. So far, they've got Pokester, so it's a good start to the fight, but they're going to have to do so much to hold this point for 3 minutes.
So much to do. Booga was nanoed in that as well, and now has their ultimate online as well. That's the first time that Booga's got a kill onto Pokester since switching to Hog. It wasn't working, and that's what it took just to kill Pokester. It took so much. It took the nano as well. It took them fresh out of spawn to do it. But like you said, 2.5 minutes now left. So much space to work with for Sussex Sharks.
That's nice,
this is
though.
a risky position.
That's a very nice hook from Booga and a kill on Neophrite. Neophrite obviously just on the Tracer being able to sneak around, maybe pressuring the backline a little too much for their liking. So getting that pick early is very nice. Pokester being forced out, takes the pack, so he's back on full HP. But Immortality used on the side of Live Love Love, so that could be a potential opening.
It
for
gives him a
David.
corner there to work with. But yeah, like it just didn't really do too much. But now they're starting to push in once again. It's counter ultimates, both whole Hogs back online. I feel like Pokester's got 2 out of the time that the Booga's only got 1, and a good flank coming in. He's going to use it. Almost got cancelled as well. We are going to see him fall.
The ults were exchanged. Booga used his ult there.
How?
Dying.
Oh no, that is absolutely devastating because look at this. Oh, it's a complete road just straight onto the point now. We are seeing the Diva come back out, just looking for anything, a bit extra speed. Kitsune coming out for Sussex Sharks as they look to make this final push. The bingo will fool David, a big pick to find, but Neophrite, his own coming out. He's going to get 1. And it's just going to be enough, almost enough. Booga's just about surviving here. He's going to get demech'd. Just the last line of defense. It's not going to be enough. 1 minute 23 left on the clock. Sussex Sharks finish round 1.
Incredible work from them. I thought this hog pick wasn't going to be very strong on Gibraltar, but I was happily proved wrong. They used that hog pick. They even forced their opponent onto the hog, and they just held W and won.
That was such a weird pick for Booga to take hog there because it just didn't work for a lot of it, and I don't understand it. Maybe it purely just is well, they're playing hog well, guess I'll play hog well as well. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't the correct choice. They just got snowballed after that point as well, and it wasn't the correct choice at all. And maybe we'll see a switch up here, and maybe we'll just try and lock it in and try again with the hog. But overall, a lot of work now for Live Laugh Love. They do not want to go 0-2 this quickly. Still waiting on that pick from Booga. Still just waiting, probably just trying to decide. May coming out now as well from Ogini. David, they're now taking a Widow.
All right, Sussex Sharks pulling out what we were expecting. The Neophrite Tracer Ajax on the Sojourn. Very nice pick on this point, being able to maneuver around the high ground and in general this entire first point very well. The Kiriko there as well. You know, you can never complain, especially on Gibraltar. That mobility is going to be very nice and very big. With the same with the Lucio. But this indicates maybe quite a counter brawl defense here. They're playing pretty aggressively.
Yeah, and
where they're going to maybe try bait Live Love Love in.
Okay.
Oh.
So Booga's taken a long time to pick there and has now picked the hog. I am very confused and quite concerned about that pick, but will it work for a second try? For their sake, hopefully.
David on the Widow here. We'll see how first point Gibraltar, you know, the classic. Let's see if there's any picks being made. There are a few targets vulnerable to this Widowmaker on the side of Sussex, so we'll see if anything can happen. Fighting Neophrite on the high ground. Recalls, forced recall out, but sadly didn't get the final kill there. Just keeping an eye out on the high ground, keeping people at bay, keeping them honest.
Yeah, I mean, look how far they got the back now.
Nobody's contested a cart yet. Lucio getting picked, but OG Genie finishing the kill off there. Tracer being forced to hide away. We'll see if David can secure the kill here.
Completely locked in position, tries to escape, and David, the flick, absolutely massive there. And Booga has got a kill into Pokester, and suddenly this push starting to look quite good for Live Laugh Love. Finally, Booga's pick of hog, it's starting to work, it's starting to come on board, and Neophrite trying to take the counter Widow, because that's the issue. Widow could be so oppressive now in this game. Especially on a map like Watch Gibraltar, we have such long lines of sight. That could be so dangerous, and Neophrite is just trying to directly counter that. Missing the hook there as well is going to be Booga. Pokester coming back in, looking for some revenge on that hog pick. But he's going to be the one who gets hooked here. He's going to be the one who's actually starting to be pushed back. He gets it, but it's not enough. Ogini is going to get it, and Crab will fall in a bit of a trade there, and looking like they can try and take this point. Booga looking to lead this charge, and these last couple defenders just about surviving, but it's not going to be enough by the looks of Booga doing everything he needs. The hook not enough, as David has found 2 as well with the Widow pick, and they're going to be able to take their first point.
With the comp Sussex were playing there, once your own tank falls, the only thing you have available to try stop this Roadhog is your Suzu from the side of Kiriko. Everybody else I'm just seeing hook victims. I'm just seeing targets for the Roadhog. But David here sticking to the widow on the second point, made a magic happen on the first one, so maybe he can make it happen again.
Ooh, that could have been a very big point to have it. It wasn't enough to get any picks though, and the Kitsune does come out as well, allowing Live Laugh Love to begin this push. Very good position. Oh no! Tracer once again completely caught out. Sights online, that's going to give them a lot of understanding of where these teams are playing from now. And Pokester, oh, he's actually managed to get the hook there, the Nano of
The Nano
Fuga.
might be wasted, not?
Yeah.
Without landing a hook right here, won't be able to really pressure much.
He's pulled it back up.
Well, it runs away, realizes that.
What on earth? This just happened. Pokester will actually fall in the end. I'm so confused. Fuga was nanoed. Why have you hooked him twice up there? It somehow still works out in our advantage, but the only issue is Sussex Sharks, their defense starting to weaken. The last couple of people just about surviving. AJX tries to go for anything, pulls out the ultimate and can't find any picks, but does force them back. What an aggressive play.
David
Gets the
out as
second.
well. OG Genie tried to do it earlier, but wasn't able to find anything with the Soldier. But AJX playing such an aggressive Sojourn here, diving straight into the opposition and just getting the headshots he needs to get the kills.
This is what we saw in the last map as well. AJX, it's almost like they play like a pawn in chess. They can't go backwards. They are going forward over and over again, but they are a lot stronger than a pawn. That is for sure. AJX, massive there, keeping Sussex Sharks, keeping them away from another point, slipping into the hands of Live Laugh Love. That is for sure. But once again, I just want to highlight this. Obviously, Bugot got hooked up, so Crab nanoed him. It fails. So Pokester hooks him once again. I don't know what that's about. AJX, though, just found another pick onto David once again. Kind of just completely countering his Widow, not allowing them any space to work. And Neofried punching Crab to get the kill there. And suddenly, Sussex Sharks, Booga
trying to one-man army this point, but
not enough.
They're paying too much attention. They're on LAN here, let's be serious.
They tried, but, you know, you'd love to see it, I suppose. It would have been a good strat, but it wasn't enough. And that's the issue. It's just going to delay them. It's going to give them a bit more of a stagger. And look at this. Sussex Sharks already back into position, ready and waiting for anyone coming their way.
They're playing so aggressively on this defense, and it's working out perfectly for them. In that fight specifically, David got forced off the Widow, it seems, onto the Cassidy, and immediately plays its dividends by getting Neofried down. Neofried got the Widow last fight, so immediately getting revenge for that one.
Look at this. Booga now onto the Sigma, trying something differently. A very late switch, a very kind of out of nowhere move, and maybe Sussex are not going to be able to adapt to this in time at this point. Could full Kitsune coming out, Sigma already taking point. Booga looking to make this push, hooked up is Ogini, who will just fall. David gets a great hinder, but it's not enough. The beat comes out, and Neofried will get the pick, and these last few players, Live Laugh Love, completely falling, shattered around here now, and they're all just going to slowly fall, and Sussex Sharks completely adapting to this switch of tank.
That was so impressive. That was so cool. Yeah, David getting Neofried at the very beginning of the fight there, maybe looking a little bit iffy for Sussex Sharks, but they just applied their own pressure. They don't. One Tracer, they don't need that Tracer. They can just get the rest of their team applying the pressure, win that fight, and it just worked perfectly for him. Booga here, not really able to output as much damage when like these close quarter encounters.
This is going to be a messy fight though. Everyone in the corridor, Kitsune's coming out, and look at this. Oh no!
From behind.
The rock from behind was actually massive there because they weren't able to get the Suzu out in time, but it doesn't matter. In the end, Pokester still found Booga throughout all of that. I really did not think that's how that was going to go. The Hindo could have been absolutely huge there and devastating. Pokester storms his way through, still being aggressive. They've just found more and more picks. That is not how that fight was expected to go. As soon as the anti comes out, Ruler stunned, can't hit the Suzu, but somehow is able to get unstunned and gets it back off. And Pokester storms through, finds multiple picks, and once again back to square one. 35 seconds left on the clock, and Booga has to make something of this play now. The ultimate is online. This is absolutely crucial. Storming through the Nano on as well, pulling out the ult. Can he find anything? Chasing, looking, finds Pokester. He's missed it. Oh no, he's missed it.
It's so devastating. The Nano committed and everything, using the ult to both stay on the high ground, but also to try and get rid of Pokester and missing the Roadhog.
In the end, it was just enough. The rest of the team able to step up and a team kill. will allow them to get it with 5 seconds remaining, but still now, I mean, they got 1 minute 33. If they do make this, they are going to be very far behind in terms of that next, in terms of the overtime, the additional rounds that could potentially be coming through. They've still got to get to that point though, and Sussex Sharks, they show no signs of stopping as already Pokester starting to make his way in.
Yeah, this is a payload map, of course. Even if they do cap in overtime, they get a minute of extra time to do it. So it is very doable to still win this map for Live Laugh Love. But they need to cap the point first to even be in the contention for that. And AGX is going to make that very difficult. Getting 2 with this ult.
No way.
Almost free. Please, getting free. There we go. And less than a minute remaining for Live Laugh Love.
That was just amazing from AGX once again. Like I said, I think he's got his S key unbound at this point because he just keeps going forward every single time. Get a pick, move forward. Get a pick, move forward. And that just doesn't stop. It's a snowball until they take it completely. And Neophrite, sneaky position, potentially looking to get a very, very big sticky off. Starting to make their way in. Not using it just yet. That could have been a free kill, but they don't use it just yet. Kitsude coming out.
No! Oh no! No Hoggle missing the custody, but instead pushing the Ana into it, still getting a kill. Hog hooking the Booger there, and they have 20 seconds to touch the point.
What a play! Neophrite has just absolutely initiated the play of his life there. I thought, instant nade. The nade is coming out straight away. It's going to hit Ana. That's it. No, they wait. They wait and they wait until the ultimates come out, then use it. They missed it, but still got the Ana in the end. And Booger, once again, going back on this ball, looking to contest, looking for anything, clutching at straws at this point. Does get the overtime, but Booger is already quite low.
Window committed, gets a kill with it. That's the only ult they had available to them, so they need to hope that's enough momentum to get them to the end here. People on car being pushed in. We're in overtime here, but Live Laugh Love can still very much do this. Derpy J gets poked, so that's going to be big with overtime respawns as well.
It's something. They have something to work with now. They start to make their way forward. Pokester back alive, looking to be the vanguard of this push once again. It has to be now or never, otherwise overtime will be on the table. Starting to make his way in. He was absolutely crucial in his crab will fall, and Runa's found one as well. A massive anti. So the rest of them, they start to fall back. Derpy Jake falling as well. The last couple members, Booger's fallen off the map. What?
Sussex Sharks win Gibraltar without putting them up 2-0 in this series.
You can see on their faces as well. They know what's happening. The Sharks, they smell blood in the water at this point. They've taken a second map in such a strong fashion.
This is scary if you're a fan of Live Laugh Love. You're 2-0 down. It's a best-of-7 series, so there's still a lot of space left to work with and a lot of maps to make comebacks and adapt on. But this is just opening that Sussex definitely wanted. 2-0 up against Loughborough.
Yeah, this is not how I was expecting Loughborough. Like we said, they have been the consistent team in this top level. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Sussex Sharks, they've almost exploded onto the scene at this top level. And they are still doing so well so far. This is an absolutely brilliant. But we are going to head to a break. When we come back, we'll be going into map 3. Get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, and be ready for a third map coming up soon. Gets the second.
To the analyst desk. Oh, fuck. My bad. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Welcome back to the analyst desk here, looking at some of the highlights from the 2 maps that we just witnessed. Guys, I mean, you guys got to witness it firsthand casting that game. Let's talk about map 1 first on Busan, beginning with Pokestar at the beginning of the game.
Right.
I know we gave this guy an entire segment in the intro, but what was that?
So the thing is, at the start, it was live, laugh, love. They went straight to the point. They were ready and waiting. And then we saw Sussex. They took the high ground. I was like, okay, what they're doing, they're going to be taking it a bit slow, being a bit careful, trying to get a pick with the hook. Nah, Poke's just going to run in like it's just a train, take out like 3 of them. Suddenly it's a team kill. They got the point. I was not ready for that at all. I was expecting a much more careful and considerate hog play. No, they are going full aggressive. They are going full pug stack. It was actually, this has only just come to me. I remember we were talking to these teams. I don't remember who it was on Sussex Sharks, but one of them was like, oh, I haven't played much this season. I'm only like top 100 or something. And we're like,
only
top
top 100.
I believe it was them, but it's the same point where it's just like, that is not what we're expecting, but also that is exactly, I think, what we should have been expecting from such an aggressive hog player like Pokestar.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the DPS players especially as well were looking really strong. We saw a lot of Sojourn picks coming out from map 1, so, I mean, I think Busan overall was a very strong map for Sussex. But then map 2, before we get into the proper analysis, as a Widowmaker main, my heart is happy. I got to see 2 Widow picks this game, and I'm very, very happy with that. But yeah, what do we think about the map on Watchpoint Gibraltar? Because that one I think was a bit closer. You know, we ended the scoreline on 3-2 instead of a straight 2-0 for Sussex Sharks. So go into a bit of detail about the thought processes behind.
I think, like you said, we only saw 2 Widow picks, but it wasn't about the picks that was important. What we saw is that Widow being so oppressive. Straight away, both teams, when they saw there was a Widow on the attack, they moved backwards. They played a bit more careful, and they gave a lot of space to that attacking team. And that is exactly how things worked. And sure, there was only 2 picks, but it was the fact there was a Widow there. It was the fear of that player, the concern that they could have easily got the pick that completely messed things up. And then we actually had this. We saw that the defending team, I believe it was Sussex, who had to then bring out a Widow just to try and counter it. And of course, that was the right pick, having to try and counter that. It worked quite well, and I really do think that Widow, even though they didn't get a lot of picks, was so crucial to the way that game went.
But Widow also, obviously applying a lot of pressure because a lot of traces were coming out. And eventually the Widows were forced onto, I think, Cassidy, for example, because Neo just applied so much pressure on using the tracer there that they just didn't want. They wanted the sidelines back. They just didn't want a Widow staring them at every moment. But when even with the tracer running around, we saw a very beautiful flick on the tracer there.
We did. That was
the Widows put up a
nice.
generational performance.
But yeah, another important thing to point out about map 2 is that Cassidy Ash backline double hit scan that we saw from Loughborough. During both of the games, the Cassidy from Loughborough wasn't really getting the picks that they needed to with that Deadeye, you know. That ultimate from Cassidy is so important, getting onto that high ground, trying to get at least any picks on some of the squishies that you can, but unfortunately not finding any of those picks with that ultimate. So do you think maybe a different DPS is required for Loughborough to maybe kind of get that aggression they need to take a map?
I think the thing with the Cassidy is, first off, their stun nade. Brilliant usage throughout. So many times we'd see a great play happening, hindered, that's it, done. And of course, that's more of a thing about how strong that nade can be, but overall, still, I really do feel there just wasn't enough, especially those Deadeyes. It really felt that they were practically using it for the free reload at that point. Sure, they were getting a lot of the pressure where they could basically say, I've got a Deadeye, move backwards, you are not peeking this angle at all. But barely at all there were any of those picks there, and that was definitely a deciding factor in that. Yeah, I think they really do need to maybe switch things up to a different hit scan character.
We saw them open up with Torbjorn as well, I'm pretty sure. Torb applying a lot of, maybe not doing a huge amount to a hog, and the hog can't shield it, but it's also like, it's just being tickled down. The Tracer, however, Neo being on Tracer most of the time, would have problems with a Torbjorn if it was ever to come back, because that turret just applying infinite pressure and helping the backline stay alive a little bit longer.
I think the thing with that Torb is, to be honest, at least on their first point, it was just free ult charge for Pokestar.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing, is I saw how chaotic things are being. I'm like, okay, if I only just look at the kill feed, instantly, turret gone, every single time. And Pokestar just didn't have to even care about the Torb. That was the final kill. He kills the Torb and then just sits down, because he knows that Torb didn't have anything against them. That was how strong that both Pokestar was being, and how just kind of almost disjointed that Torb pick was against that team.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the map pool that we still have available for these next maps for you. Obviously, our standout player that we're looking at here really is Pokester. We gave him an entire segment during the pre-show, and he is here
delivering.
he is delivering the plays that we wanted from him. So looking at this map pool, what do you think is going to kind of be best for Sussex Sharks to be able to take advantage of this hog pick that they have that has been looking so strong?
I mean, the whole thing with the hog is being able to exploit your angles quite well. And I think because of the whole veto system, I have a feeling that Sussex, they're going to continue to ban these maps that have got these long angles when we get to it as well. Maps like Paradiso, I think, are just going to be gone just because of how dangerous that can be against that hog. There's still some great angles for it, of course, but obviously the main thing as well, Loughborough, they've lost another map. They get that next pick. That's going to be very powerful, but we saw it in that first one. Sure, they banned Ilios. Busan, though, clearly was the exact map that they needed. Loughborough, they just had nothing on there at all. Of course, going into that second map, it was a lot better. Sure, Watchpoint Gibraltar had a lot more in it for them, but overall, it feels like all these picks they've chosen are still just falling into the hands of Sussex.
I think on push specifically, Colosseo has incredibly long sightlines, especially at the beginning on the second stage of the map as well, a lot of openings. So Hog might be under a lot of pressure there. Something like Esperanza might be a little better, but the sightlines are still like push. I don't think push is a hog map, but I said that about Gibraltar and Pokester proved me wrong. So who am I to judge Valve at this point?
Well, go on.
I
Sorry,
think
quickly.
Any map can kind of be playing the hog if you play the right angles. It's just that a lot of the time there's going to be angles which are just so limiting that you're not going to get much out of it. And I do really think the Colosseo is potentially the map we're going to, unless that's just banned instantly by Sussex. We should be going to Colosseo. If that's floated instantly, Colosseo should be that pick because there's so many angles that Loughborough can just completely exploit and just completely damage that hog pick.
Yeah, well, that is all we have for this quick analysis now. Sussex Sharks currently 2-0 up in the series, only 2 more maps away from taking that trophy home. But don't go anywhere in venue or on stream. We are going to take a quick break and then we'll be back with you straight for map 3.
Hello and welcome back to the Banquet Bash Overwatch 2 Grand Finals. We're here in the Confetti X Arena, live on LAN with both our teams here, and we're here in a Game 3 scenario.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the Game 3 we were expecting to see at all. I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic, but I was really expecting Live Laugh Love to really take control of this game. They are, of course, the team that's had a lot more consistency. I've been saying it all day. They're the team that have been playing at this higher level for a lot longer. But so far, everything has been in the hands of Sussex. It's a 2-0 game so far as we go into push fairly shortly. And the issue is, hopefully, maybe Loughborough, they're taking a small break. They've had this time to cool down, to wait, to figure out how they can change things going into this map. If you were their coach right now, if you were Loughborough's coach, what would you be saying to them?
I think I'm telling them to commit, just commit to their options more often. These team fights often end up so scrappy. Sigma's behind people. D.Va's kind of just like flying around. The DPS are maybe a little too far back compared to the tank. Like, these fights have just been going on for a little bit too long, and in these long fights, when you're fighting against the sustain monster itself with a hook and just like a thing that can just heal itself and then decide to, oh, I wanna end the fight now and just hit a hook on somebody, you can't be having these longer, scrappier fights. You really need to focus down on a composition, a strategy of some sort, and just commit to it and play it fully.
Yeah, consistency is definitely the issue. Like, I really thought when we saw that Sigma come out, I thought that was going to be the change of things. Purely just because I thought there is no way that Poster can adapt to this at all. That should not have happened. And sure, you can talk about the kind of the counter picks between the two of those characters, but it really should have completely thrown everything off of Sussex, and it almost felt like nothing changed. Like, Poster just kills him. That's it. Done. Okay. Oh well. Next fight. Off you go. Like, it really didn't feel like it changed much. And this is the thing. We have not seen a whole lot of composition changes coming out from Sussex. They've played consistent. The only issue is now, will we see a bit of a change come out? Will we see potentially them realize, okay, they're going to start adapting. They know how we're going to play. They know what to expect. We need to throw something out. And potentially, okay, best of 7. They've got the first 2 maps. There's a lot to work with. I predict, if we were to see Venture at all today, this is going to be the map. This is going to be the one that we're going to see it in. It kind of has to be at this point now where they've got the space to work with. They've got a bit of a cushion. I think that potentially one of these 2 teams, maybe even both of them, who knows, would pick Venture in this map for at least one fight.
I like the idea of Sussex riding the momentum they have right now. They're 2-0 up. They were the underdogs going into this, and they use that momentum to pull out the Venture and put up a performance of a lifetime. However, we'll see.
We will have to wait and see going into this one.
I'm a big fan of the Vision.
I think this is the time to do it. The way they've been playing so aggressive as well, I really do feel like one of these damage players could definitely benefit off using Venture. Like we said earlier, like I suppose you said earlier as well, Venture very much fits into the role that Doomfist had back in Overwatch 1, where it was very much a character you'd launch yourself into a fight, throw out all your abilities, get out. Maybe you get a pick, maybe you don't. You just keep being disruptive. You keep being a problem the entire time. And if they can do that, that could be absolutely brilliant. The way we saw them play as well, especially AJX, the way AJX was constantly pushing in over and over. If they do that again, if they were to do that on Venture, I think that could be very, very strong. But of course, who knows if they practice character at all? They may not. So they may not even choose them just out of the risk that, yeah, sure, they know their opponents aren't going to know how to play against them, but they're also not going to know how to play them within their competition. They may stay with this consistent roster, this consistent set of heroes which they know works. But that could still be their downfall if it comes to the case of Live, Laugh, Laugh going, we know how to play this now. We know the issues. We know where we're falling behind. We can now counter this.
So this map 3 here is going to be Push. And we were discussing on the couch a little bit earlier, but what maps do you expect here? I'm expecting maybe... I on the couch said that I expect Colosseo to be banned by Sussex because it's just on the sidelines, but what do you think the other team here will be banning?
I think the way all three of these maps are, it's going to be a case where they're not playing the map they want to play, they're playing the map which they don't really care as much about. We said it off stream as well, I must say. New Queen Street, I think, is where this may just go. Yeah. Not because the teams want to play New Queen Street, but just because there's other maps they don't want to play. Sussex, they are not going to want to touch Colosseo. Esperanza, are they going to do it? Okay, I've had a correction. I know we do apologise. It's Flashpoint we're going to be going to, which we talked about earlier as well. Is the thing with Flashpoint.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, is Hog really going to work on Flashpoint?
I have no clue. I know we saw some highlights of them playing Flashpoint, and it was definitely a map that Sussex at least, and I imagine Loughborough as well, had to play to get here during top 8. And Hog, I feel both the DPS lineups on both teams seem perfect here. They both love they play a lot of different DPS, which is very important on a point where 5 different points, which all play slightly differently to one another. Sussex might fall a little bit because on a map like this especially, you're running so far. There's so much travel time on Flashpoint that a Hog might maybe fall behind.
That's the only risk. But the other thing is, I have a feeling that once Pokester is kind of set up on that point, he will not be moving. He will not be...
True.
I don't think he's going to die too much. And I think a lot of this gameplay is purely getting about keep Pokester alive. Keep him there. Keep him fighting. Everything else doesn't matter because Pokester can just be an absolute bastion on this point as we look to be going into game fairly soon. And as you can see on those screens there, Suravasa is the place we are going. And I feel like... I mean... Is there even another Flashpoint pack? I feel like I don't remember the last time we saw New Junk City played in any kind of factor. It's just not the map. It's the same, once again, with Junkertown. Hog's Home, never the map we see at all.
This is the map I wanted to see because I just feel the points differ so much in such an interesting manner. We see the point here on screen right now. There's so many sightlines here for the Casties, for the Ashes, the Sojourns to be playing behind. There's some... The nature of Flashpoint.
Okay, both teams.
Please,
both teams.
Don't bait us. Don't bait us. You love happiness.
Come on, please, Pokester, what are you doing? Surely this is a bait. I do not believe that Doomfist and Venture are about to be played at the same time. This is impossible. This is not true. They are lying to us. There is no way this is true. And also, have a little look at Live, Laugh, Love. We've had a bit of a switch up. Booga going over to the DPS. Derby Jake taking the tank. Pokester. Okay, there we go. Okay, it was a complete troll. Right. And once again, I must boo these teams for lying to us. I was quite curious. A Doomfist Venture comp could be quite dangerous, actually. But that's not going to be the case. We're going back to the tried and tested with that Sigma coming up. But this time it's Derpy Jake taking on the Sigma. A change up with Booga now onto that damage. Will this make a big difference here? But already, look at that. Booga's found the first pick.
David Ponton support as well during that rotation, the previous Hitscam player. But yeah, Booga opening up strong on taking Ruler. Taking the Kiriko down in this composition is very important. And Kiriko swapping up to the BAP instead. Booga's bailed out by the
Booga!
And just holding W, just applying pressure. The point, however, has gone in the way of Sussex Sharks at the start.
Yeah, but not for long. Booga switching as his DPS. That's absolutely massive. The way he's just completely demolished Pokester there, rolling around completely, hitting the fan as well, and suddenly Pokester's gone. And look at this, we're seeing the Rhine come out. You said earlier, there was a couple times where Pokester did play the Rhine. That was the game they lost. That was, of course, on Watchpoint Gibraltar, but will this be a factor? They're aware now that this team's completely adapted. They're aware that these people are playing different classes. They now have to adapt to this, and can they do it? We've seen them play consistently strong, but now can they play strong when they're adapting? Pokester, the aggression already coming out, charging in as a player on his head.
Such a an aggressive charge. And I see the playstyle doesn't change. The Hog is holding W, so is the Reinhardt. And the rest of the team following him, actually. And despite the Reinhardt himself not doing a lot, he created so much space by just applying his presence.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team got a lot of picks.
It was so back and forward, desperate either side.
It actually goes in, it works for Sussex. They end up flipping the point here.
What I was about to say is that it's still the tank for Live, Laugh, Love Alive, so they should take that, but no, that's not going to be the case, because once again, what is common sense in this game? It doesn't exist. People are playing insanely in this game, and Pokester, like you said, playing the same way that he played Hog, playing the Ryan the exact same way, storming his way in. Canonical Ryan, biblically accurate Ryan is here right now, and will we see that again, looking to take charge here once again as Sigma looks to come in, but Pokester disrespects it, goes straight in. High Noon comes out, and Pokester aware he has to drop back.
The rest of the team, almost caught out by High Noon, but barely making it out alive.
Once again, he's done it, and Pokester's found a pick just like that.
Appearing out of nowhere, and although the point flips, the picks are currently in favor of Sussex.
Yeah, it's not going to be theirs for long. If they can keep this held, they can get a good percentage out of it. Of course, a lot quicker than Control. Doesn't matter. Sussex taking it back just like that. More ultimate starting to come online here for both sides. Beat in the hands of David. He could potentially use this to do a lot of damage, but he's most likely going to wait for the rest of the team to come back. And Pokester getting close to that Earth Shatter. With the way he's playing, this could be very, very dangerous. But look how much that Live, Laugh, Love are bunching up here.
Bap mirroring the windows here. Bap, Imo goes up, but there's the shadow! Waiting for the lamp to go down, and gets knocked down in the process. Will the swings be enough?
It's going to be enough, definitely. Look at this!
And the Sussex get the picks in that fight, and they end up winning it.
Yeah, there we go.
All of them alive. Wow, I thought a few of them died.
They just stayed so strong there, and just like that.
So much was happening, I just assumed somebody had to die.
They take the first point, and look at these spawns as well. The way that they were situated compared to the last point, Sussex, they're going to be ready and waiting for this. The ultimate's starting to come online for Live, Laugh, Love now. OGNE getting his as well soon. Sussex. It's just the Tracer ult that's going to be there going into this first fight. Will we see ult in this first fight? I don't think so. I feel it's going to be another kind of teething phase. They try to figure out how things are working. But once again, AJX, Pokester, we're probably going to see both of them get very aggressive.
Aggressive Sigma ult connects to the Bat, but the Imo going to bail him out. Party falls, the Bat on the floor dies. The Reinhardt really low, going to be put under a lot of pressure just to Lucio to try and keep him alive. Will it be enough? AJX getting two, but Derpy Jake on the point contesting with Reinhardt. Rock not connecting, falling in the process. And despite Bap falling early and the Sigma being committed so early, Sussex still come out on top.
This is the thing here. I saw that happening. Pokester was so low and starting to fall back. I'll get to Derpy Jake picking Doomfist there in a second, but he had to start falling back because he was low, and it really looked like Derpy Jake was going to get that pick, but the rest of the team stepped up, supported Pokester, took him down, and now we're seeing this Doomfist pick come out. This aggression, countering the aggression of Sussex, this could be what they need, and they need it. They need a hero right now, and Derpy Jake has to be it, storming his way in already, but Pokester trading places as a tank right now, already pushing back the rest of that force trying to come in to support Derpy Jake. He is alone, he is completely caught out right now as Pokester starts to make his way back towards them. OGNE low will fall, and just like that, once again, Sussex Sharks looking absolutely unstoppable in this map.
That was incredible to pick up. All right, Derpy Jake jumped into the backline with Booga, so it's Pokester wasn't there to help, but Pokester just held back the rest of the team. Pokester was just holding back 3 players by himself whilst the rest of his team just 4v2'd for 2 people diving.
The counter stick as well, and Booga's falling, struggling on tank, now struggling on damage by the looks of it. It's the second point, up to 99% going into overtime. The push now starting to come out, but still, Derpy Jake, yeah, this is the issue going on to Doomfist. Your rest of your team can be quite weak, and the aggression we're seeing from Sussex, they are now exploiting that pick. They are demolishing everyone around, and Derpy Jake just has to sit and watch as the rest of his team falls around him as we go to the third point. Sussex 2-0 up in this map and in this series.
This is do or die time for Live, Laugh, Love. If they lose this point, they are down 3-0 in this game and lose the game, and 3-0 down in the series, which will be very difficult to come back on. Needing to do a reverse 4-0 to win the series if they want to do that. Derpy Jake sticking on the Doomfist here, But OG Genie moving over from the Sojourn onto the Cassidy, maybe wanting a little more consistent damage here on this point.
We discussed it earlier, the Cassis, they just didn't have enough, and a very, very early beat coming out into this one. The Shatter does come out, unsure if you can hit anyone in that, but everyone weak all across the board right now, but it doesn't matter. Once again, Sussex flattening everyone, not a single person looking to fall here. They take the point flawlessly once again.
The coordination from Live Laugh Love just isn't really there. Bingo, the Lucy on the side of Sussex Shark dropped so low, but there was just there wasn't the comp to go finish him off. He just stayed alive and kept his ult during that entire time, keeping very, just being very patient with the ultimate and realizing that he, despite dropping low, doesn't need it to win the fight.
Kitsune coming out looking to initiate the beat, does come to counter it as well, and once again, Live Laugh Love, oh no! Pokester! Dominant, and he's found a second pick in all of this as well, and once again, it's looking like a flawless push! HAX finds two, Neofried taking out their final player, a back-to-back team kill, and suddenly, Live Laugh Love absolutely on the ropes in this one.
Sussex are so coordinated. When the initial Kiriko ult came out, dropped the Lucio beat, countered the ult perfectly. The second the Doomfist ult came out, used the VAP lamp perfectly. Just no mistakes being made. The aim as well, Booga's not going to be happy about that one. Neofried just getting the kills here. Derpy J committed resources to get in. Will he be able to get out? No, Neofried has other opinions. Gonna be chasing the backline here whilst we're all left alone.
They finally have a pick, but it's not enough at all. It's gonna be a 3-0, a flawless game again, like Control. Once again, Sussex Sharks absolutely demolishing Live Laugh Love so much. Just look at their faces. They are smiling. They are excited. They know what is happening right now. One map away from taking this. There is so much work now for them to do. For the Live Laugh Love, I mean. Sussex? I don't understand that final point. They have reached their pinnacle right now. The way they are playing, every single fight, they were almost winning flawlessly. They gave no room for Live Laugh Love to get into that. This is absolutely brilliant from Sussex.
The performance is incredible. The Hog one trick, swapping off of the Hog and putting up a masterclass performance on the Reinhardt as well. Just endless aggression, perfectly just holding the team, balancing the aggression and making space, and also just holding the team back when necessary. And it just worked perfectly. Live Laugh Love just never really found a real opening. They just were they've just, again, I think it goes back to the coordination, maybe missing at peak one of the key shot callers is hurting them more than they anticipated.
I just think that the way that Sussex are playing, like we said, this roster, the core, has existed for almost like 3-4 years. That's a lifetime in terms of esports. That's pre-Overwatch 2 as well. Like that is a lifetime in terms of esports that this core has been playing together. They took the start of this year away from each other. They played in different teams, and it did kind of throw off the results a bit, but they have climbed. They have made their way up, and now they are looking to stay here. They are looking to show why they deserve to be in one of these top teams. This is why they're trying to show that they deserve to be in this discussion as one of the strongest teams within University Overwatch, and going into this next season potentially, assuming they're not going to be graduating and kind of leaving the scene entirely, they are showing why they deserve to be here. Pokester especially leading this charge. He wasn't part of the original core, like we said, but he is definitely a key part to why this team is doing so good. They finally found those few players they needed, and surely this could be it. One map away, like you said, in the middle of that game as well. Loughborough, a reverse sweep and a best of 7 now needed. That doesn't happen. They are going to need a miracle. They are going to need some kind of shining light to do that. And the Booga, the player, I think we kind of thought maybe that, just didn't have it at all. That was kind of the issue there, is that Booga just didn't have it. He switched over to the damage roll, and still, every single time, he had a great pick onto Pokester at the start and finally got the revenge. A brilliant play with Cassidy, but after that, it just wasn't enough. And just look at that. 2 flawless games so far for Sussex. Sure. Wow. Okay. That payload bomb. 3-2. You make that think it looks close when you think 3-2. Okay. Live, laugh, love. They came close to bring it to overtime. Barely. To be honest. Sure, they got into that final bit. They were so close, but Sussex just so strong on that defense. And now we're going to be going to hybrid for this next one. And what map do you think we're going to be seeing here?
On hybrid, what would I like to see? It's a Live Laugh Love map pick, and Sussex do still get a ban in this process. So
yeah.
What would Sussex want to ban in this event?
I don't even know.
I think I saw them playing Route 66 was being played, and it is still a point where Hog is decent. Hog is pretty good, but as well as the Reinhardt is pretty good on this map. In the current meta as well, Reinhardt's pretty decent, and so maybe Route 66 will be getting. That's a payload map, not an SDR. My fault. My fault. Again.
But to be fair, Route 66 was banned earlier when we did have escort.
Eichenwald, I think.
Ooh.
The second point with the payload portion.
The only issue is...
Unless the Hog is committing to, you know, running up the stairs and running up onto the high ground.
But here's the thing. Who says he's going to play Hog?
That's true.
We've just seen him play an absolute stormer of a map on Reinhardt. Are we going to see that exact same thing happen once again?
That was Booker moving onto the DPS on the map where he played Reinhardt. So Booker maybe if they pick a map where, you know, the tank pick is incredibly important. They do have a tier 2, tier 3 talent, that is Booker, usually on the tank option, so maybe they'll move him back to tank. But we'll see. We'll see depending on the map pick. So I think,
But the stress now that Live, Laugh, Love are in, there is no more mistakes. I said it earlier. You know, first couple of maps you can afford to lose because you can kind of use that to learn. But there are no more chances, no more mistakes allowed for them now.
They've been gathering intel so far. We've just been learning. We've been observing. They've been playing it slow.
If that's the case, they better have studied hard, because now, like I said, it's going to be a flawless game required for them. A reverse sweep and a best of 7 required as we look to be going over to to hybrid soon. Sorry, you seem to think Eichenwald. I can kind of agree with that, but at the same time, the close short range angles. Are we just going to be seeing the old classic? Are we going to be seeing King's Row come out here?
With just such a masterclass of the Reinhardt being pulled out, it'd be so difficult. However, both the teams, the DPS on both teams are very confident and very capable and good players, especially on the hit scans. We've been seeing a lot more hit scan come out of Live, Laugh, Love than from the side of Sussex. Sussex being a little more flexible with valuing the comp we see on the screen right now. So maybe King's Row will be the choice because it is so hit scan favored, and they'll put Booger back on the tank and just contest the Rhine mirror or whatever.
The only thing is, King's Row is very much the mutual agreement map. It's the map that everyone knows how to play, everyone likes it, everyone understands it. But at the same time, Loughborough, they've got the pick. Do they really want to give it a map which they understand and they know that... Well, they understand and they know it, but also that Sussex can know it? Or are they going to try and take a map which they feel a lot stronger on? And at the same time, will Sussex know what those maps are? Will they make sure to ban the maps they are strongest on? Because this is the issue. Sure.
Sussex have been played so well.
They have. Loughborough, okay. They could just ban, like, King's Row. They could ban King's Row, a very close range map of points that's very good for Hog. But now they have to worry about the fact that Pokester absolutely dominated them on Reinhardt. So now they may need to even ban King's Row. And this is the issue now with the stress that's going to be building for Loughborough. They're going to be in such a challenging position, I think. It's going to be worrying. It's going to be challenging. And now they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get this. Morale, though, still looking fairly high. Smiles on their faces. And really, that's what they need. They need the morale, but they also need to understand the picks they're choosing. They need to find it. Hopefully we'll get into the game soon, but I said earlier, I think this is going to be a 4-2.
What do you think of Numbani? Oh, wait.
I try not to think about Numbani, I'll be honest. I hate that map. I hate it. I hate Numbani.
I'm not sure if you heard, but we know what map we're on now.
We do know what map
we're
on
to.
to.
I was hoping for something a little more interesting. I was hoping for something where the character options can shine a little bit more. But we are, indeed, after seeing the maps, we'll be seeing where we ended up.
And, I mean, okay.
These bans make a lot of sense,
The bans are very understandable. I mean, the one that's a little bit... Live, Laugh, Love banning Parisia. I thought that was going to be banned anyway. I understood that was going to be banned. Great. Hate the map. Utterly awful, awful map in my opinion. But it just wouldn't work for them. King's Row, yeah, they're choosing the safety pick. They're going to be going back to basics most likely, trying to play it a little safer. We're getting into it. Hold on. Okay, you're seeing Booger go back to the tank. We're seeing them go back to the basics. David back on the support though, but Booger going on to the Malga that worked originally. AJX,
also,
don't bait us this time. Please, this is your 4th map.
Crab moved on to DPS, previously being on the support role. So
a 3rd switch up of classes here.
We saw a lot of switches from them in the actual players who attended the games previously. Now I see a lot of switches in the roles they're playing in the
there's no more chances.
Games.
If these classes don't work, that's it. You're done. There are no more chances as we're going to be getting into it. And we're seeing the Venture actually come out here. AJX. I thought that the Venture would be a bait. Widow be chosen. No, Neophrite baited the Widow there. AJX. What can he do with this?
All resources hiding in the hotel, committing everything, but man, Hawk stayed alive for so long, so not dying in the end and not making it out alive. But that took so many bullets to happen. But AJX sadly not making magic happen on the first moment out. Neo fried in the back line.
Oh.
AJX, you know what? The Venture appeared, the Venture died, the Venture swapped.
There was a fight with Venture, at least. It was something. We barely even saw them. They were dead before we knew it.
A fight is a very strong word for what we just witnessed. It was a one-sided affair.
But finally, Booga starts to wake up with his tank, and look how aggressive they're being. Joined by Ogini taking their places. They are stunned. Does find one. Booga comes back in. Both supports now down, and suddenly this entire push from Sussex Sharks is going to have to drop back. That is brilliant. Playing both of these almost minigun characters together is so strong. The amount of firepower you have there, and it works incredibly successfully.
This is perfect. This is the coordination I was talking about. Both fights, they've been the ones to engage, they've been the ones to pull the trigger, and they've just had a very coordinated fight.
Oh, look at that!
They called that perfectly. And catching everybody. Booga just holding W, doing what he does best, and just grabbing kills.
Finally. 4 maps in, we are seeing Live Laugh Love play on their own terms. We are seeing them fight the way they want to with the coordination that we expected to see out of this consistent team.
Look at these staggers, these heroes. The team died so long ago, and now the stagger is happening. Even if Lucio dies here, this
David
stop it, makes it out alive.
Oh, he's gambled it too hard.
A little bit too far there. Sadly falling in the process. Oh,
oh no! Poke's done it again. He's killed him within Booga's own ult. Of course, they're now trapped and they can't contest at all. But that's not going to matter. That's a big pick to get. But Crab, Ogini looking to step up, but have to retreat. They have to get out. The ultimate coming online. What can they do with it? Oh, they can't even find people.
Yeah, I was about to say, hoping to target not the Hog, who could definitely survive the ult there. Sojourn does make that alive though. Help a support or a dash maybe.
Blizzard is online.
Here's a recontest. Wall is up. They're trapped here. They know they can't run away. Hotel, Pokester alone.
This is very, very good.
Pressure being applied. Booga appearing out of the hotel as well. And they trade kills here. Another kill on the side of Live Laugh Love, but it's traded instantly.
AJX again!
AJX comes online. Popping the Sojourn ult, getting 1, getting 2.
AJX pops that ult every single time there is a multi-kill coming out. AJX absolutely brilliant so far, and once again going in for more. Fighting Booga right now, not looking to come out on top, but is able to survive, hide in the corner just for now, and wait for the rest of the team to come back in. Building back up that ult once again. Another hook coming out. Pokester going whole hog. Blizzard coming out. Pokester can't escape.
Will he die in the process though? The Hog is so bulky and makes it alive. Unanate helping the regeneration there with that heal.
And suddenly, look at this. The picks going the way of Sussex. The point going into their hands. David does find 1 pick, but there's no way they can contest this. Look at this point. Completely backed into a corner on the ropes.
Less than a minute remaining, but they do get the point. And Live Laugh Love showing signs of life, but Sussex end up taking that point.
Not life that we expected to see. Like you said, is Poster going to die in that Blizzard? He should have. There is no reason that he should have been able to live that. I don't know how they've kept him alive as long as they did. Sure, after that, didn't get a whole lot of value, but it was just the presence of him being there caused so many issues that Live Laugh Love ended up just falling apart. But once again, look at this, pushing it in together, the coordination hopefully back, and hopefully no issues there. Booga storming his way in towards Pokester. Does get the hook, but the wall is absolutely massive, and Ogini will finish the job and get the kill. Booga continues pushing.
This is look, the corner. Booga's calling the shots. Booga's calling the cooldowns, and the rest of the team with the Lucio speed is just right behind him, and they're just securing these kills that they should have been doing for the rest of his set. The point, however, this is a very scrappy fight. There are DPS behind them. There's tanks in front of them. This point, it's under so much pressure right now from both teams, from so many angles. But AJX, uncharacteristic, pops the ult, doesn't get any kills. But Pokester,
once again, this
a Hog.
I didn't even see that switch happen. What on earth? Pokester throwing Sigma back towards Booga. Okay, this is the thing. Pokester fell out of that fight a little bit there. The rest of the team was able to step up. AJX started to fall, ended up dying. The rest of the team stepped up, filled those gaps. Sussex, they are playing so strong. There is so much synergy in this team, and looking to get a little bit sneaky here as well, taking a lot of high ground. The Nano online for Ruler as well. Will we see this come out potentially as a fight? Now looking to begin. The Nano comes online, starting to make the push. Is it going to be enough? The stick's great from Neofry.
Yes, Ogini teleports into the Malga trap and wasn't able to recall due to it. But AJX going to fall here, and Booga and Live Laugh Love holding forward so well here and taking this fight. There's still 1 remaining though, but this is going to be a big stagger. The poor Anna here. No, oh yeah, running towards the ledge. having to...
There it is. We finally had a boop. It wasn't on the Ilios like we expected earlier, but that's happened eventually. That's a great stagger, like you said. Sussex now have to wait for another one of their support members to come back into this. And now they just have to sit back, they have to wait, and once again that wall is so crucial as Pokester has fallen. The Sigma play suddenly starting to look a little bit concerning. 1 minute left on the clock, and suddenly Live, Laugh, Love finally awake, coordinated, playing together as we expected at the very start.
Moving Crab onto this May has done them wonders. So
Yeah,
many
and
kills have been gained
no
from these ones.
way.
They don't know. They
The
don't
Blizzard.
know. Oh, sadly 2 of them dodge out, and the Anna does get freeze her. Shield is up, but they just run past it, and Neophyte having to run away.
It didn't even matter they ran away because they got final to a position where Booker could just jump on top of them. Both picks were found, and Crab, we started talking about them. The second we mentioned how great they're being on May, brilliant play. Thanks for proving our point there, Crab. That was brilliant. Suddenly, 15 seconds left on the clock. Sussex not looking like themselves in this game now. Finally, Live, Laugh, Love being strong. The high ground is going to be where this push comes out. But once again, Crab could be so dangerous at this point. The beat comes through, and AJX gets so aggressive.
Yeah, with that overheal from the Lucio, you're just going to hold forward there, and but Moira ult ended early by the Sigma off, but Sigma falls in the process. Lucio committed for the other side, and AJX all online, going to have to fight the Lucio overheal. Booga's so low, but stays alive.
It's just not looking too good. These last couple members just trying to keep alive. Ruler will be walled off. Can't even get back on. The bingo will fall, only finding one. Ruler down. And just like that, for the first time, Live, Laugh, Love. They have something to fight for. They're doing it now. They're finally in this. Only 1 point given over to Sussex. And suddenly, Live, Laugh, Love going on to their attack now. They can start to rally together to finally find themselves back in this game. A lot of work to do, but this is how it starts.
But the swap to the May has been doing wonders for him. But not only putting Booga back onto the tank role, allowing him to make the shot calls here and call when they're going to engage and stuff. You can see, especially with the Mauga shout and the dash, the run-in, you've got. You can control the pace of the game, and with a Lucio to support the rest of your team to getting him into there, as well as a May to shut down any escape routes, shut down any sight lines. They've been coordinating these dives, brawls incredibly well.
Okay, well, okay. At this point, I've lost all trust of these players. We are not seeing this ball or this venture come out. There is no way, right? Like that's not happening.
Look what Pokester's playing.
Man. Every time we think we have him figured out, we understand who he plays. Now I'm going Sigma. Now
AJX taking a note out of Crab's book and swapping to the
yeah, and
here as well.
Crab's on Sim here as well.
Live, Laugh, Love committing to the Lucio. The Lucio Moira, the backline's been doing very well, especially in combination with the Mauga, just being able to just hold forwards when they choose to. Mauga being committed again, and the OG Genie sticking to Bastion.
This is such a...
I wonder
Sussex.
if Symmetra will be kept.
I think they're concerned that maybe they've been figured out finally, but look at this Symmetra play initiating the fight instantly, and now the Mauga 1v1 is going to be coming out fairly soon, and Crab tries to get a lot of damage off the May. Could be very, very dangerous for them. That window, that lamp, sorry, very, very strong. Leo does get one.
Full charge. That beam was just holding onto the Mauga, but having to reload and back off, sadly, losing a little bit of that power. AJX dropping low, but drops into the icicle to save himself.
Pokester, look at the aggression here, joined by AJX, and once again, this Mauga May combination that Pokester and AJX have looks so strong. It's similar to what we had before with the two of them. Once again, they found another combination of characters that they are so strong on and so dangerous with.
Mauga on from the side of Booga in the choke, just trying to find an opening, waiting for the team to come here, waiting for the cooldowns to come online. There we go, Symmetra onto the high ground. Who are they going to try catch? Lucio was in the sightlines there, but manages to escape. A little bit too slippery for the Mauga, but now they have the high ground and they have free sights onto the point.
Yeah, this is a very, very good position for them to be in, and Live, Laugh, Love could be almost bottling themselves in. There is a May up against them. If they can get walled off here, suddenly this becomes very, very messy. They get funneled.
Rotating back?
This
Somebody's making a call here, and Derpy Jake sadly dies in the process.
But look at this position.
Uncontested Bastion on the high ground. Soldier noticing him and forcing him out, but
Oh, okay. Sorry, that did not look correct. I really thought that Live, Laugh, Love, that rotate around and suddenly bringing in that Bastion into position was going to be so strong. It was going to completely confuse them. No, that's not happened at all. Sussex, they're aware of what's happened. They understand it. They completely counter it. The ult starting to come online now. And suddenly, once again, Sussex feel like they're the team they were in the last 3 games.
Yeah, but Live, Laugh, Love just rotating over and then rotating back, and Sussex just in this mess just managed to find their kills using an aggressive teleport there to move the TPs, the turrets, but Neophyte committing Sojourn ult, but with all of his damage happening and the sim wall up, just not going to be able to find anyone.
Yeah, that's so strong. It completely breaks it. Pokester's just fallen the second he tries to contest. The Blizzard, though, is absolutely massive. It's kept everyone away now. Pokester does get an ult, does have an ult line now, but Booger as well uses his, does find one, looking for a second support kill. He will get it as well, looking for more, finds Neofried, finds AJX.
And there we have it. With more time completed than the previous one before this. They finally find the point, but again, both teams swapping over to the market here.
This is not the play I was expecting.
We're seeing both teams succeed in it. They're both now. Not only are they both on the Mauga, but they're both on the Mei as well now, taking a note from each other's books.
Now AJX on Mei. Okay, pretty decent. But Crab so far has been so strong on that pick. That was a great wall from AJX. Booga down already. Ogini will fall as well as Pokester makes his way in, and suddenly back to square one. The entirety of Live, Laugh, Love pushed back towards the spawn. AJX looking to be the better Mei, and there is no way that Crab could have survived that. No, he won't. Pokester gets the kill, and just like that as well, Sussex aware they cannot hold that position. They cannot maintain it. They will drop back to a stronger position. They move back towards that choke and reset for another fight.
Wow. Just wow. Live, Laugh, Love have tried so many times to just push through this thing, and Sussex Sharks always finding an opening. AJX with that wall in that case, deleting Malco. Malco's not a very difficult character to just burn down, but they
look at Pokester's one. He's got everyone in there. Everyone is stuck in there. The Blizzard as well. That's completely annihilated this.
Everybody's frozen, but Malco's so bulky, doesn't survive and does die in the process. Pokester getting OG Genie as well. Neofried fighting the wall here. Wall falls, but will the people behind him fall behind?
Looking pretty good. Can he escape?
Can't escape.
That was a brilliant play. Putting down the Malgaro, trapping every single member of the team in there. The thing is, I saw the Pokester wasn't really able to get those picks. They were surviving. Okay, Blizzard, off you go. Freeze everyone. Demolish. And now, once again, back to square one for Live, Laugh, Love. Stuck at this choke. The ultimates looking a little stronger for Sussex now. Both support ults online for them. David's sound barrier nowhere near usage. We are going to see WJ using his as well. We're seeing multiple come out. The Blizzard online as well. And Booga does find Pokester in there. The tank already down, and Booga doing exactly what he needs to. But they're aware they have to hide this window. Did a lot, but Booga storming his way through the wall.
The wall doing a perfect job of stopping Booga there. The only thing in the game that can really stop the Malga during its charge. And they've held back. OG Genie moved on to the Reaper here, so this last little encounter here in these corridors, in these small streets, maybe the shotguns will come in a little bit more handy. But Pokester and the Sussex having all their abilities online basically, so having to just find their opening here. Booga charges in, but does it die?
It has to be now.
Lamb gets down, everybody falling in this Booga's trap here.
But still a couple alive, but it's not going to be enough.
And Live, Laugh, Love put themselves on the scoreboard.
Finally, preventing the flawless game. They find a map. Booga finally being the person we expected him to be in this game, stepping up to the job on that tank role. Does find the game. They continue fighting. Live, Laugh, Love will continue on to another map at least.
This is what we were expecting. This is what we were hoping for. Live, Laugh, Love showing the team that they're capable of being. The following Booga, just following Booga no matter what. Just holding W, trusting every call he makes, and this is what comes out of that. They've moved some of their characters around. Crab moved onto the Mei, put up a very good performance. And this is what we were wanting to see. They've put themselves on board, making the set a little bit more competitive, and finally taking a map for Sussex.
I think that first half, that's exactly what we were expecting from Live, Laugh, Love. They suddenly, out of nowhere, they were playing on their own terms. They were playing how we expected them to play, being so consistent. The synergy was there, finally. Where was that on the last 3 maps? What had happened? That was what we were expecting to see throughout this entire game, and it's taken them this long to finally have that. But the issue is, they still need another 3 maps. They need to take 3 more maps back to back if they want to continue.
Yeah, this is a science of life. This is what we wanted to see. But now, not only do they have to take 3 maps, but they have to take 3 maps while Sussex have the map pick. This is the first map pick because Loughborough were the higher seed, so they got the first pick as well. This is the first pick that Sussex actually get to pick themselves.
That is going to be a massive factor in this as well.
Loughborough only having 1 ban, obviously, so this is going to be a difficult one for them.
This is going to be very challenging.
They have to reverse 3-0 on not their maps, and so far they've gone 3-1 down whilst they were all playing on the maps of their choice.
This is the issue. One small mistake, and that's it. This game is done, and it will go the way of Sussex. That's all it is. One slip up, one wrong move, 1 point lost, and it could be all over, and Sussex could take it. There is such a long road now needed for them. Like
Nice.
I don't really know how they can continue this, but that is how they were meant to start it. That was what they were meant to do. Booga had to be the one to do it.
And we'll be seeing how they continue this momentum and how they fight this uphill battle after the break. So stick around.
They got him
And hello everyone, and welcome back to the Overwatch 2 Banquet Bash. I'm Crystal, your analyst desk host yet again, joined by Jishi and Wicket. After another incredible 2 maps, I'd like to say. I mean, I think the big thing we have to point out here is that Loughborough finally got a point on the board for themselves, which is, I mean, I think I'd say quite the opposite of what we were expecting from this tournament based off of track record.
Yeah, the fact that we are celebrating the fact that Loughborough have won a map is insane. I was expecting them to most likely win this. They've been so strong throughout so much of the tournament up to this point. Of course, not dropping a single map in Swiss, beating this team before, but so far, it's mostly been Sussex. But finally, Live, Laugh, Love. They took that map, they took it in a very strong fashion. That was the map that we'd been expecting them to be playing the entire time. The way they played that, the synergy between them, the way they were playing, bouncing the tank and the damage character together when they had the Malga and the Bastion pushing in together to just flatten everyone. That was brilliant. Where was that in the last 3 maps?
The first 3 maps went in such a wild fashion. Cervassa as well. After that, I lost a lot of hope. Cervassa was not as close as I was hoping it. 3-0 to Sussex, and after the first point, the rest of them were very one-sided points. So after that, I lost a bit of hope, but thankfully, Loughborough, they kept confidence in themselves. They swapped a few of their characters around, a few of their roles as well, and they managed to get King's Row and put themselves on the board and keep themselves in the series.
Yeah, I think one of the things I want to point out, we keep getting baited by these Venture hovers. I mean, every game,
We saw a rollout.
every time, it's the 2 DPSs hovering Venture, and then they go and switch off of them at the last second. We saw maybe 20 seconds of Venture gameplay at the beginning of King's Row.
In which they just instantly died.
In which they tunneled in and died and then switched. So
Venture now has a 0% win rate in the Banquet Bash.
that's true. That's very true. So maybe Venture not good.
I mean, there's a kind of a point here about the fact that Sussex chose Venture. It really feels that maybe they got a bit complacent. They thought we've just won our first 3 maps easily. Cervassa, we have just flattened them. Why not play a bit of Venture? Let's be a bit silly with it. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Booga's gone back on tank. Finally, kind of woken up, got into this game, and suddenly it's completely just thrown the entirety of Sussex off, and they just didn't feel like themselves in that game at all.
Yeah, I think that Malga pick was definitely kind of a wake-up call for Loughborough, making sure that they are going to still be able to stay in this series. And it's looking like that Malga is going to be what shuts this Hog down, because I'd say from a lot of what we've seen of Sussex, that Hog is really what's getting them into that team fight. The Hog usually making the most impact in those team fights as well. But as soon as Loughborough shut down that tank, it's looking like Sussex almost fall apart a little bit. So do you think maybe this Malga pick is going to be what's going to be able to give Loughborough that little edge to shut down that Hog?
It kind of has to be. I think at this point, throughout the first 3 games, they tried so many different compositions. Every single map, they have a different, like, everyone's been playing different classes. And as I said, when we started to get into King's Row, they don't have another chance to do that. It's now or never for this to work. It's clearly worked now, and Malga has to be that pick. It has to be this. If they want to take this reverse sweep, it has to be off the back of that Malga pick.
As well, so I think it could be maybe down to the fact that Sussex were also forced off of Hog by the Malga. They went into the Malga mirror. They deviated a bit. They won when they deviated off on Cervassa onto the Reinhardt, of course. But then they went onto their own Malga and just didn't play it as cleanly. As you said, maybe a bit complacent, but also we saw the Malga early in the series from this Loughborough, and it just didn't do the same. So maybe they've woken up. Maybe they've finally decided, you know what? It's time to be coordinated.
Yeah.
It's time to brawl properly here.
Worked,
It could be, yeah. No, that Rhine is something I want to point out as well. Something that you guys said, the biblically accurate Reinhardt was my favorite moment from that map 3, which, I mean, Pokester, I know we called this guy just that Hog 1 trick, but that Reinhardt was looking incredible from this guy. Like,
So much offense.
so many good picks from that Reinhardt. It was really, really impressive. And I mean, we saw some other here and there picks, like we saw that Symmetra at the end, towards the end of King's Row. We saw some Widowmakers like we usually do on King's Row. So my question for you guys is, what do you think Loughborough's going to have to do to be able to pull through and go for that reverse sweep?
Finally find that consistency. That is the important part. That's what kind of finally worked to them, is when they had those consistent picks, when they had that Malgar, when they had that Bastion, things were finally working for them. If they can just keep that again, they have not a rinse and repeat, of course, because finally Sussex are going to start to learn how to beat that as well, but ensuring that they have those, like, I think if they keep these same classes, they keep everyone the same classes they had, this should work. I think they can take another map at least, and they have to do it now, because of course, There's no more second tries. That's it. They've expended all their lives. 3 maps already lost. They have to take the next 3 if they want to win. And I think it has to be off the back of that Malcolm pick. It has to be back off those consistent picks. Once again, now that they understand what's working.
Yeah, so one quick final question before we throw to break, because I've been meaning to ask this the past 2 segments. Who do you think's winning today? I understand the scoreline is a bit one-sided.
If you asked a few segments ago.
But I guess the real question is, do you think Loughborough has what it takes to be able to reverse sweep this?
I think if any team was to do it, it would be Loughborough. But
especially after that performance.
Yeah, now that they've shown us what they can do on LAN, what they can do it, sure. But at the same time, I really feel that Sussex are still going to take it. All it takes is one mistake. One failed point, one C9, that's it. You're done. That's all it could. That's all it is. That is the margin of error they have right now. I still think that Sussex are going to take this.
If this set was to end on a C9, that'd be legendary.
Nothing would say University Overwatch more. I think at that point.
Well, that is all we have for this analysis segment, but don't go anywhere because after this break, we will be going to our map 5 of this best of 7. So we will see you all after the break. Yippee.
I did call 4-2 to Loughborough. Finally, Loughborough showing us that they can have something in this game, taking a map as we now go on to push. Just like that as well. Esperanza being banned by Live, Laugh, Love. And as we discussed earlier, look at that. Sussex have picked New Queen Street. And it most likely is for the same reason I said before. It's not because they want to play New Queen Street. It's just they don't want to play Colosseo because it will not work for Hog. This map as well, there's still some angles which I don't think are that favourable to Hog, especially that final push. But I still think this could be the map they have to take it on. I think if there's any map that Sussex are going to close it out, it's now. This is the time for them to do it. Of course, we start getting to the repeat game modes. We may see the same things once again, but Sussex, they may be looking just to finally do it. Finish them off. Deal the killing blow, but it has to be now on New Queen Street.
Yeah, hopefully that last game was a bit of a wake-up call. They don't want to be giving them Loughborough any more maps because the momentum builds. It's a real factor. People joke about momentum, but there's confidence involved. There's egos involved, and once you give up once you go up 3-0 and you give up one map, it's like, all right, wake-up call. If you give up 2 maps, it's like, oh, it's getting dangerous.
I mean, you talk about momentum. Look at those first 3 maps. Every single one was getting quicker and quicker until we got to Siravasa. And they just flattened Loughborough. That's like the momentum was just building and building. And that's why I thought we got into map 4, we get into Kings Row, it should have just been a quick, just dominant performance. That was not what happened. Loughborough, they finally rallied together. They finally built back into it, and they did it. But no more speculating about this one. We're going to be going into New Queen Street any moment now. This could be it.
Once again, Loughborough, no more chances. A flawless reverse sweep in the best of 7 now required for them to take it. Sussex, 1 map away from glory.
This map pick here makes a lot of sense. Obviously, we just touched upon earlier, Colosseo is probably the worst map for Sussex here, and they will not be picking that. Live, Laugh, Love, sadly only having one map ban here since there's only 3 maps to choose from, so they're the only one to get the ban, and they ban the map that Hog is probably best on. But we'll see if Sussex actually stick to the Hog. Pokester deviating away from the Hog for the past 2 maps, and the Reinhardt worked incredibly, but the Mauga actually lost. And here we see.
This is... I don't really know what to make it. I feel like it's going to be bait picks again, surely, because Crab has now also gone on Venture. Don't you dare bait. Oh, why?
But at least we can see that Crab is stuck on the DPS. They've decided to keep everybody in the same roles as they did on Lift Laugh Love. They're no longer playing role roulette.
You know what? I am not going to comment on any of these characters until I see them walk out of spawn. I do not trust any of them anymore. Okay. Oh, I was just about to say Booga is picking Arista. No. Back to Mauga. Okay, but also going back to what we've seen before. Pokester onto the Hog. Crab, May as well. Both of these teams going back to what has worked for them in the past. Now or never. Pokester the one to initiate this fight first. Looking to make the way in. A great hook! Oh! And instantly throwing Ojiri off the map. Pokester back to his old ways, his winning ways once again. That wall was great, but another great hook. Booga will fall. AJX has found 2 in that, and Pokester.
There's people alive, Pokester!
AJX will finish the job, but Pokester, just like poetry, sits down, savors the glory once again after demolishing them in that first fight.
You know there were evil intentions from frame 1, and Pokester was standing anywhere remotely a ledge. You know the hook, when that hook connects, somebody's going off the ledge, and it just happened to be the Reaper.
I have never seen a boot on that ledge ever, because I've never seen that happen like that before, and that is brilliant. That is exactly what we kind of expected to see finally. Both of these teams are playing what they know works. They're playing the tried and tested compositions. This is going to be a very close game. I think with how balanced, how equal this game mode is, where both teams are doing the exact same thing on the exact same map. This is the decider. This is it. This map decides if Live, Laugh, Love, they can continue. They can fight forward, or if Sussex Sharks will finish it. And Pokester already finding the first pick. Booga once again slipping back into just being the second tank in this game.
With OG Genie for reform out, yeah, that's gonna be an easy pick. Now you just have to take the point. You can't let David push for a point here.
Pokester's just ulted there. He's got like nothing out of that. I don't know if that was an accident or he's just doesn't really need it, but fair play.
Here, they're going to have to try and make it to the rest of their team. Lucio's running over to help the recovery, but the stick connects.
No.
That's 2 big picks. That's a lot of momentum for the side of Sussex, especially when they're approaching the point here.
That's just completely put them back, and that is so bad for Live, Laugh, Love as Sussex.
They might not be able to contest.
There's no way they're going to contest to get this checkpoint at all, as Pokester has found David once again. And just like that, Sussex on the road to victory now, still looking to push further forward. And Pokester, once again, he's caught the Sigma of Booga now, switching over once again. And Pokester looks to be the deciding factor in this game every single time. Another great hook, and AJX combines forces to get the kill. Will get traded as Derpy Jake will pull out the ult, looking for more, but gets hooked. Almost getting the kill there.
But it ends the ult at least. Kiriko was committed on the side of Sussex, but not a lot's getting out of it. Derpy Jake just staying alive, doing the damage, keeping the team alive as well. Just not being able to, cleaning up this fight for the time of Live, Laugh, Love. Sussex Sharks.
No way.
Sadly not carrying.
No way do you get this pick.
Oh.
They've got the pick out of it as well. That is such an important one to do. But this is the thing. Live, Laugh, Love. They won that fight. Undeniably, of course. They've got the bot now. But look how much it took for them to win it. It took them everything they had to finally take that. This is just not looking good for Live, Laugh, Love. Sussex are looking so strong, and Neo Fried on the flank. Has the ultimate online, isn't going to get used. So many of them grouping up right now. This could be incredibly dangerous as Crab does find a very good pick.
Looking for a bomb there, but wasn't able to find an opportunity. Crab committing the ult, committing every resource here to kill Pokester.
Good one at that.
Pokester does fall. Ruler trying to save him with the immo field, but it doesn't work. OG Genie almost dying to Neophrite, but Neophrite gets the stick on Moira, who escapes.
What I was going to say once we kind of got out of that fight is that Neophrite, it was a very good idea there to not actually just waste the ultimate. Yeah, they could have been good, but the rest of the team could not really initiate off it. But in the end, they tried it again, they have wasted it, but still, Sussex, they're still looking so strong here. Of course, Live Laugh Love finally bouncing back, starting to push towards that checkpoint, and Pokester looks to make his way in on that high ground, missing the hook though. Very important if he gets those hooks off, but he has missed that one, and that is going to give a little more space to Live Laugh Love. The only issue is AJX ultimate online. That's been so crucial in so many of these fights so far, but this time missing quite a lot. And OGD found one. Derpy Jakes ult finds another. AJX does get the trade, but still this fight back and forward so far. It's now down to the supporters as the bingo falls. Neofry does get one and a second, and suddenly Sussex, Sussex have just about, they've come out on top on this one.
Neofried and Ruler were the only two alive at the end, and if they just weren't enough, Ruler connecting some very nice headshots on David and just cleaning it up with a body shot or two. And now the payload's just being pushed. Neofried going to be able to escape pretty smoothly. Sigma all committed, but I think it only hit the hog, so no kill's going to be coming out here.
The Sigma, it felt like it was there purely just to delay Pokester getting in and trying to keep them away from the payload, but that's not really happened enough. Of course, they now are starting to push back forward through, trying to get back up to the point they are pushing, but Neofried is still contesting so much on his high ground. Sticky Bomb is also back online right now. This could be so
committed a little too early, not under any pressure really, using it to engage, but Sussex uses very smartly, just backing out completely and using Baron in retaliation.
Here it comes. It's got to be now or never with the sound barrier aligned as well. They can start to rally as AJX finds one. Neofried will fall, but did everything they needed to just to delay, just to distract as much as they can as the push from Sussex coming back through.
Booga so low and only a Lucio alive to keep him.
Oh, what a boot!
Healthy.
What a rock as well!
Pokester falls so low and dies. Booga finding the opening perfectly to secure a kill there, and David dying as well, sadly. But it might be, the damage might be done. Sussex might have to slow down here.
Yeah, I mean, Booga, David did so much for AJX. Once again, the window comes online, and they've got control once again. Booga and David, brilliant there. That boop onto Pokester completely flattened that, and the rock as the chaser there was so good. But Sussex, once again, one of the heads of the Hydra here falls, the others come straight back in. Everyone is stepping up when someone falls, and it is working so well. AGX looking for redemption with this ultimate potentially now online. What can they find with it if they use it here?
Sigma, they haven't been very successful the past few, so hopefully a little more success. But Pokester's on a flank, I think.
What on earth?
Pokester going into the back line, going on an adventure, but that means Booga has free reign on the front line. Using an ult to hit back, but going to burn him down. Lands on his head to get the kill so the emote doesn't work. Excellently done by Booga. And OGGD cleaning up the rest of the team behind.
Absolutely brilliant. Booga not allowing AJX to escape as well. And finally, the start of this map looked very dire for Live Laugh Love, but they find themselves back in it, still a little bit behind, but this should be enough to potentially make it all the way to the checkpoint. Although the contest will definitely potentially be coming in here, especially with Pokester looking to get some revenge now. The only ultimate line being the Blizzard could do a lot of work here for Live Laugh Love.
Yeah, they should be able to contest here. Pokester hasn't got his eyes on the point. Tracer running around. Poke doesn't connect us, so this fight might be a little more difficult now.
That's going to be very, very
risky.
risky.
Pokester going on the flank again. It didn't work last time. Will it this time? Gets the hook, but doesn't get a kill. Hitting the Reaper with it, and Pokester dies.
There was a wall that came out as well that prevented Lucio from having any kind of impact in that as well. And the checkpoint will now fall into the hands of Live Laugh Love as they can start to get onto the aggressive push now.
Live Laugh Love pushed so far, they might be able to get the point further than Sussex did. They're so far forward that Sussex have to really commit to this next push to try cut touch. Tracer touches, but Mail is committed to try to prevent that. Hog freezes, Pokester isn't able to touch. The rest of the team is taking so much damage, we might not be able to stop this from overtaking.
They're just clutching at straws to try and keep themselves in the lead with only 2 minutes on the clock. They know there's not going to be much time left after they win this, but that's not going to be the case. Live Laugh Love will take the lead quite late on now. Continue their push. Sussex now on the defensive. A lot of work to do if they want to continue in this, of course. This map can finish so quickly, and it could be now or never as Neofried looks to make a bit of a flank, and Pokester finds Crab, a massive pick to find in that as well. Pokester continues further forward. Whole Hog is online. Will it be used? Will we see it come out here? Doesn't even look like it's going to be needed. OGD's fallen as well, has to reload.
But the sad thing is Sussex, even if Sussex win this fight, as it looks like they are, beautiful hook. They have to push the point all the way back, and they have to overtake again. They lost control in that situation.
However, Look at their ultimates, though. It's a full house online. 5 ultimates ready and waiting for them. They have everything in their arsenal that they need if they want to do this. A minute left on the clock. It has to be now. Pokester looks on the flank, but the proactive play coming in from Booga is so important there. The sound barrier does come out. The ultimates all being used all over the place. Neophrite trying to find the Lucio.
But Lucio's so evasive, staying out alive, keeping Neophrite out to fight the entire fight. Dies in the end, but will it be enough?
Pokester did fall there.
Moira's low as well. Crab, does Crab have the cooldowns online? No, he doesn't, and dies, and Booga's the only one remaining.
Neophrite, the savior here for Sussex. Everything that was needed. Sure, they were out of the fight for a lot of that, but once they got back in, they did everything that was needed. Pokester fell. It didn't matter. They continue pushing. And just because of the fact that Davis had to go back to try and collect Sigma, they should be able to get the checkpoint here. They'll have that advanced spawn when the rest of them get in, but the stagger is so big now.
Sussex are sadly not all here. They're going to have to wait a few seconds to wait for the rest of the team to arrive. Pokester alone, basically, under a lot of pressure. So much resources having to be committed to save him, but so many more being committed to kill, and it does work in the end.
The lamp was already used, so Sigma could just instantly use it and take it in 10 seconds left. Sussex, a lot of work now to do. Pokester's the only one, the ultimate now online, and they are gone, they're dead. Sure, he'll come back on the checkpoint. He's going to ball just to try and contest. Can anyone even get the touch? The Blizzard will come out. Time gone. Overtime just about in. AJX has to contest just a little bit longer. Can't get much out of it, and still one by one trying to hold. It all comes down to Pokester, the last one here, to try and hold for any amount of time, and can't do that. No one will be able to touch it once again. Live, laugh, love. They're going to take themselves a second map and continue pushing.
That is obviously an important map to both keep themselves in the series, but also to try hurt Sussex a little bit, take a little bit of momentum out of their stride. Winning that map there, a supposedly pretty equal map. Not a map where, you know, we were discussing how Hog is pretty viable. It's not particularly the most impressive Hog map in the world, but it's not bad. And yet, despite that, Live, Laugh, Love pulled out the coordination we were hoping from it, and they managed to beat the Hog comp and take another map.
It really feels like they're starting to understand how Pokester plays as Hog. They understand his limitations. They understand how strong he can be. They're starting to respect his aggression as well. It's really working, especially bringing in the Mei. They know how aggressive that Sussex can be. The Mei can completely punish that, and it's working so well. Live, Laugh, Love. They take themselves a second map. I'm not saying the comeback's on just yet. That, of course, was the map that really... that map could have been over after that first fight, and it would have been the end. But if they can do this, if they can finish this, if they can take this on map 6, if they can bring this into map 7, the final map, take this all the way, I think Live, Laugh, Love can do it. This map, it has to be it. This has to be the one the Sussex take if they want to win this game. They have to close it out now, but look...
That was such a strong opening.
That opening was so important to it.
Not the map decider, but it was very strong. What maybe was the map decider though is the fact that Crab's Mei has been so impressive. Crab and David have been such a coordinated duo of just, even when Booga's not been on the Mauga and just, or not even in the fight at all, they've been such a coordinated duo to pin down opponents and just eliminate them with a combination of just amazingly really fast, speedily running onto you and blocking you off with a wall.
I feel like we haven't talked about him too much, but it's unfortunate this is the contest we're talking about. Ruler really just got left out to dry in this map. He's been really consistent and strong on this support, but this game, his lamps were just counted every single time. Every single time he threw out a lamp, there was something they could use after it that also required it. He just didn't have enough in this one, and it's not his fault. It was not on Ruler at all. It was on how strong Live, Laugh, Laugh were in that map. It was purely on the way they were playing, how strong they could be, how consistent they were. The Sigma plays were so good, and like you said, Crab finding exactly what he needs to bring this team together, switching over to Mei, has been so strong and crucial in this beginning of a comeback here.
I'm hoping to see the comeback. Seeing this go to a Game 7 would be legendary, especially considering how the first 3 games won. You can see the players thinking here, adapting to the next map. Map pick going to go to Sussex again, as they did just lose the last map, so maybe a little bit of an advantage from there.
They had the right idea. That first fight, they knew exactly how they wanted to play it. They knew exactly what was most likely going to happen. But the thing is, I just don't know if that was it in the end. Like, after that first fight, they were on the back foot the entire time. But next map, it's going to be Escort once again. We're going to be going to Junkertown. I did not expect to see Junkertown at all, because
I was hoping for Route 66.
The thing is, with Junkertown, It's not a hog map at all. You can't play hog.
Maybe Pokester's adapting. Maybe Pokester's realized that a lot of the flanks, he attempted a lot of flanks, which he was doing in game 1 and 2, especially on Busan. So many successful, like, just little mini moments of running behind the team and just picking off the 2 supports. But in that game specifically, especially with Mei on the Mei on the field now, the flanks were so much less successful, being caught out so many times, and instead, like, abandoning his team basically in the process. Hog is not a fast character to be flanking with, so maybe realizing that his Hog playstyle is being kind of caught onto and deciding to swap onto a different hero, a different strategy.
Yeah, maybe that is just exactly what they need. If they have a different trick up their sleeve, because that's the thing. Loughborough have finally adapted and have started to understand how this team are playing. In that map, we saw both of them play their tried and tested rosters, which they now knew were working and being successful. And finally, Loughborough have figured out how to counter that. I think you've still got a one-map cushion where you can experiment. Sussex, they can play this map a bit experimental and see if it works. And it has to be now. We're going to be getting into the game fairly soon. Will we see that Hog? Will we see maybe a Reinhardt, a Malga? At this point, I have no idea what this roster is going to be for Sussex.
Hey, the Hog gets the home turf advantage, bro. You gotta adapt to home turf. He has access to some places the others don't. But we'll be seeing what comes out here. I really don't know what to expect, because I don't think any of the tanks we've seen from Pokester really are incredibly effective here.
Not at all. I don't really know. We are going to have a little pause at the start, unfortunately, but a little bit of time just to wait. I do believe sides are just being changed. But overall, this is going to be very, very challenging for them. I think that Sussex, maybe there is a potential now that they've lost a couple maps, they're a bit shaky, they're a bit worried, they're concerned that something's going to go wrong. That's really where things could maybe switch up for them. This pick especially, I don't understand why they've gone to Junkertown.
There just doesn't feel like a plan.
There has to be something, and are we going to be seeing that? I do believe we are just having a slight reset before we get into the game, just to build up the suspense a bit more. Of course, that's how it's got to be.
Maybe I have to swap sides or something. But yeah, Pokester, we'll see what tank we see here from Pokester. I'm very interested in DPS. Because again, there's been a lot of Sojourns, there's been a lot of hit scans.
Surely we see a Widow come out.
I know AJX is very comfortable on like Echo and Genji as well, but we've just not seen a lot of it. Maybe partially up to the Live, Laugh, Love is just so good at, like, you know, picking out maybe if a dive goes incorrectly, maybe picking that off, but also maybe the maps and the comps have been a factor here.
I've learnt my lesson. I will not make any comments on any of these weird picks at all. There will be nothing said.
This is what I like to see. In Neofried on the Widowmaker, we've been seeing a lot of Widowmaker from both teams, and Neofried...
I am just covering up the side of my screen. Live, Laugh, Love, okay, there we go. See, that's my point. Cramp has gone back to Mei. Were we expecting anything different there?
No, if Crab is on the DPS, we were expecting the Mei, and they stuck to their roles. But on the side of Sussex Shark, Pokester on the Hog, you know what? There's enough buildings to play around here. The Bingo and Rule on the characters we were playing previously, but Neofried and AJX, I'm keeping an eye on those because they're both incredible aimers, it seems, and I really want to see the Widows from both sides succeed because that's just an exciting time.
That's where it kind of has to rely on. If they can have the oppression here, that could be very, very crucial. Oh, Ginny doesn't find anything, switches back over to the Reaper. Neofried as well does get pushed back very quickly there by Booga. Looking to just reevaluate their options as now Pokester looks to be pushing in the hook, just missing.
Booga pushing up so far, taking this high ground straight from Sussex. That's such an aggressive play to make, but it pays off.
It feels like a play straight out of Loughborough's book. Oh!
Crab on full HP, but gets caught in a trap, but not. They back off, so they're not able to finish off the kill. The payload here. Crab again!
My!
This is exactly what they were missing. Pokester was too busy flanking, too busy not getting the kills, but now just playing with his team, getting the hooks, and just the team is there to finish off these kills.
Look at this. Neofried does find one pick, continues to move back up with the team. In many cases, you will just see this Widow just run back to spawn, just change. No, they are sticking with it. Widow can be so oppressive and so powerful, and I feel like Widow has to be able to complement the Hog pick here, because Hog is going to be caught out quite a lot. You need that covering fire coming in from Neofried. That is potentially their win condition here. If they want to take this in this map, it's going to be the synergy between Neofried and Pokester, just like this.
Booga again on the forward high ground alone, and dies in the process. This team was just not with him. They were a little too far back. Lucio not being able to neither support.
Neofried?
But Neofried, the legend on the Widowmaker, finding two.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is what they needed. Neofried having that synergy to play with Pokester, to support them, to raise them up, and AJX once again being such a strong, independent damage player right now, absolutely just flattening everyone. We've seen it all day. We will continue to see it. So far, Booga's aggression has been good, but it hasn't been enough. This flank instantly called out by Neofried here with the sights. Now what they're doing, once again, trying to go aggressive, take that high ground. Pokes are aware of it, has the drop back, drops into a safe position.
Hook connects, but doesn't get the kill because it was a Sigma. Has the ult available and is in a small room. There's so many ults being committed. Kiriko and Suzu committed to that, but will it be enough? Booga's so low. And AJX has ult online that just finished, but manages to finish off Booga and Crab. And AJX cleaning up the team.
Once again, AJX has just been absolutely brilliant here. Every single time we see something shaky happening, AJX is there, flattening the rest of them, building it back up, allowing Pokester to take almost a break. Even if they're dead, AJX is able to step up and take that spot. And once again, Sigma's ult there was so big. And now look at this, Booga back over to Diva. Yeah, back over to Diva. This didn't work on the first map. Is this going to work now?
Maybe the Diva. Well, that's immediately rewarded for picking the Diva, but Neofried using the distraction Pokester made by hitting the hook to just connect a clean headshot, using the cover of his house on the map.
Here's like beat online, but once again the hook's so good.
Lucio instantly beelining for the Widowmaker, gets Neofried actually, but Pokester is expressing so much pressure with his ult.
That whole hook just completely demolished the Coalesce that came out as well. Pokester continuing to fight here along the front line. A great hook, and once again it's Crab who falls. They're aware of how strong he is. They find him once again. Pokester trying to find the Diva, and he's done it again.
I don't.
The stagger that's coming out as well.
I'm not sure if Diva's been the pick. We saw an immediate reward of saving people in the Matrix, but
surely they switch.
The second the hook comes down, the Diva's just a target for.
And still.
And they're not. Is the Diva's too occupied with the pressure Roadhog's outputting to contest the Widowmaker. David had to run after the Widowmaker there. It did work, but how many times can you rely on your Lucio to do that?
They've got 10 seconds left now, and so far they've had nothing. There's been no response to the way that Sussex is playing.
All online, playing a little bit more sneakily. Maybe potentially eyeing up a flank or something.
With the Kitsune as well, Neofried comes back into it, can't find any picks just yet.
And look, Booga's 2 contested on point. The Widow's got free reign up there. AJX popping the ult, gets one instantly. Looking for a second. Doesn't manage to find it with the ultimate, but they just have to clean up now. The team is too scattered, the team is too weak.
There's absolutely nothing they can do. Once again, AJX, the winning condition for this round at least, waiting in the corner, finds multiple there. And just like that, Live, Laugh, Love. They've got no points out of this. They are on the ropes. Sussex Sharks, 80 meters away from victory now.
Sussex just went back to what they knew. They stopped playing around, they stopped messing around, and apparently, well, not only is the Hog incredible, but also the DPS, which is why I guess they picked this map. We were questioning it because we were viewing it under like a Hog angle, but HX and Neofried are really talented DPS players who are abusing these long sightlines perfectly.
They played that map so well. That's the thing, we were so concerned seeing Hog, like, Hog's got to play a much shorter range. They've also then paired them with 2 DPSs who can play at such a high, like, such a long range that it works so well. And now, like I said, 80 meters away from Sussex, taking the crown, the glory, and winning here at the Banquet Bash. Okay, Booga? No way. No way. They're on defense. So yeah, Booga is just picking Wrecking Ball here.
Crab moving away from...
Okay.
Oh, okay. Where's Crab?
I'll learn my lesson. I will learn my lesson.
No,
but still, Ramacho, we haven't seen so far. Booga, this is very... 6 maps in, they are still baiting me. You don't expect it this late on, of course, but Neofried sticking to what's worked. We're seeing the Hog, we're seeing the Widow, we're seeing the Sojourn. It's worked every single time. Live, Laugh, Laugh, trying one more time. They have no space to work with here. This is going to be such an uphill game for them if they want to take this to map 7.
See, this backline worked for them when they were playing with Mauga, but Lucio Mora just isn't as... Well, it's effective if you're planning on doing this. It's just not as effective at supporting a Sigma as it is a Mauga, but if they're playing this aggressively, maybe this is exactly what they needed. Poked, forcing some swaps. AJX swapped onto the Bastion, going onto the Cassidy now. Back onto the Bastion, just to have that turret available. Booga going to die in the process.
Oh, they're trapped in the room!
So much pressure outputted by this Bastion instantly, and Pokestar as well, enabling so much space with the Rhine. And
they get the stagger
to it. Oh, David manages to make it away, luckily. But look how much space we've just gained from one fight. That was a few seconds.
Yeah, That looked so good for Live Laugh Laugh. The way they aggress so quickly, caught pokes her out, but then instantly Ajax is aware of it, switches to Bastion, pushes them away, and suddenly Sussex so close to victory. Booga
Pride falls though. That's so much pressure gone. With a Bastion available, they still are outputting a lot of pressure in a close range fight, but the Neo pressure, the pressure Neo Pride.
the anti though. The amount of damage that came out of that
falls,
anti.
David falls as well, pick for pick. It's a very messy fight. Ryan committed the shadow, but so much HP gain from Booker from the shields. Ash has been in the background, uncontested this entire time, just free reign. But Pokester has a nano, and he's gonna do what the Pokester does best, which is hold forward.
But there we go, look at that!
Two-man fire strike.
And suddenly, they're all gone, and PJ has fallen so late. David, the only one left alive, he has to contest this. Where even is he? Can't even make it in time. He's got to go for it. He's got to try it. He's just about made it. Pokester's just sitting on the point. He's got the kill, and there we have it. Sussex Sharks are your champions.
The Banquet Bash Overwatch 2 Grand Finals goes towards the Sussex Sharks. What a upset. They deserve this victory so much.
What a way to do it. I don't know if you even noticed in that chaos of will the Lucio make it? Pokester just sits down on the point and claims his victory.
Pokester accepted it long before anyone else, it seems.
What a way to end it. Such a dominant performance. King's Row. That just looked like a small blip now, a small mistake. They've taken it. They finally have done it on map 6. The team which we did not expect to do this, the team that's had such a long way to become into this top team conversation against Loughborough, have consistently been here. They have done it. They have taken it in such a strong fashion.
Incredible stuff from Loughborough, as well as Sussex. Loughborough obviously getting 2 maps. They saved themselves a little bit. They got, after New Queen Street, I was a little worried for Sussex, but
yeah,
Sussex just went back to basics, back to their classics. They looked unshaken. They played with so much confidence and just played so incredibly well. They knew what they were good at, and they just pulled it out. Junkertown, we questioned the pick a bit, but they put a lot of faith in their DPS.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they knew that Pokester would be taking so much pressure and so much aggression off of the Widowmaker, and the Widowmaker just had free reign on the rest of the field.
Yeah, I mean, Hog one trick finishes it in the home of Hog as well. That is just not what we expected at all. Like Sussex, such a long road to get here. The team has changed so much. The core, sure, it stayed the same, but everything else, they finally have all the pieces in place, and they have done it to become your champions here in such a good fashion. Like, yeah, finally, King's Row, there was something there. New Queen Street as well. Finally, Loughborough were in it. They were doing something, and then that map happened, and once again, it felt like we were back on Busan the way they were playing.
It really was. They opened with Busan with so much confidence and just maybe a few tricks that, like, you know, Loughborough weren't adapted to yet. Loughborough beat them last time, so maybe they came in with expectations a little bit lower. But they showed up in such an incredible fashion, and then they just it was a full cycle. They let us believe a little bit. It was 4-2 like you expected.
Yeah,
to the other team.
To be fair, on the desk, I did not say who was going to be 4-2. Yes, I believed it was a 4-2 to Loughborough. And no, Sussex have done it, and it's been such a brilliant way to do it. The road to the final was so difficult for them as well. Like, well, I say difficult. The only difficulty they had was against Loughborough. They lost against Loughborough. They finally claimed their revenge from the Swiss stage, and they have done it. That was absolutely brilliant. But that is going to be all from us now here on the casting. It has been brilliant. Thank you for casting alongside me. Shout out to everyone backstage as well in production. Absolutely brilliant work from everyone. But we're going to send it over to stage now for the interview with your champions.
Ooh, lovely sound. Thank you so much to our talent team from upstairs. Welcome back to the Confetti X stage. We are joined here now by the lovely Crystal, our analyst team from upstairs, as well as the champion. Remember that. I've been told this might fix the issues. As well as the champion of today's tournament, the captain for the Sussex Sharks. So first of all, congratulations on your victory. If we can always give a massive round of applause. It was an incredible series. Incredible series, real roller coaster ride of a series. It looked like there was going to be a sweep there. You know, you started 3-0, you started so strong. Looked like you might be able to close out that 4th game. Didn't quite get there. Lost 2 maps back to back. What was it like mentally for you having to pull it back from that position, having to actually find a way back into, tell your team, you know, keep it together. This is still our series to win. This is our game to lose. Just get there.
I mean, the Malga comp, when they walked out on that, they started shitting on us. It got a little bit scary. But and then Kings Row, yeah, we missed 2 beats. I inted 1 fight, and then New Queen Street. Then yeah, I just kept feeding, and then eventually they were like, right, turn it down, stop feeding, all right. And then yeah, we did what we best at, played Hog and won.
Yeah. So oh,
sorry.
I don't think you need them.
Okay. Well, another question I want to ask you is, what was some of the biggest obstacles that you guys as a team faced? Obviously, we mentioned earlier that the only team you had lost to before this was Loughborough. So maybe apart from that, were there any big obstacles in the way of you guys being able to get this win today?
I think just Malga and Booger on tank, he's a pretty good player. So apart for those 2 factors, and then yeah.
And just one last question from me. I want you to reflect quickly on the journey that you've had to get here. Just run me through how it feels right now, finally being crowned the champions of the Banquet Bash, how your team feels, how everyone feels just in general with that victory. Run me through what it's like behind there in the team camp.
I mean, it's nice to prove that our university can get somewhere, you know. There was at one point during like qualifiers where someone was like, oh, we're not even going to make LAN, and we ended up proving them wrong and winning the whole thing. So yeah, it's pretty good. I think we're all quite happy, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, so final question of this winner's interview for you. Do you have any final words, special thanks you want to give to anyone who's either here, watching at home, your teammates?
My teammates all played tremendously well. I was the main reason we lost those maps, so it's all on me, really. And yeah, that was a great game. GG's, thank you. It was good fun. Thank you for not playing Orisa.
Thank you so much for being here on stage with us. You can go celebrate with your team now. We will wrap things up on our end.
Well,
not quite ready to finish it.
Yeah, before we finish off today's event, we still have the raffle ticket winners to announce. So, if I just trade out my little buddy for this bag really quick, we are going to be picking 3 winners. 3 people with raffle tickets. So, George, I'll let you pick first. And then read out what ticket you got.
Fantastic. So, the first winner.
It will be from top to bottom.
For today's raffle. Am I reading every number or just the top?
Just say from like the top one to the bottom one.
Fine. So, 116 to 120.
Whoever that may be.
In the room. Fantastic.
Okay, and then the second winner is... Oh, this is quite funny. 111 to 115. Congratulations. And then I'll give you the honor of doing the last one as well.
And the last winner.
I really hope it's not in the same order.
I'll give it that one to make it easier. I don't condone littering. That was just a little maneuver. And the last winner is 336 to 340. Over there,
the audience doesn't seem too happy about
this. We see some angry faces around the room.
Well, this is quite sad because we can have our bag back now. I'd like little buddy to be on stage for the final. Thank you.
We can trade those back.
This is quite sad, George, because this is all the time that we have for today.
This is all the time we have, and this is actually my first time being able to stand alongside Crystal on this stage. We've been talking about this for quite a while.
We have been talking about this for a while.
Even if it was only for about, 3-4 minutes?
Yeah.
Finally got the chance to do
Anyways.
it. Fantastic performance. I want to quickly say thank you to everyone in the room. You've been a lovely audience today. I'm sorry that I couldn't have perhaps as much interaction with you as I would have loved throughout the evening, but you've all been fantastic. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this. Obviously, this capstone was put on by the amazing production staff here at Confetti, from our students, as well as some of these staff behind the scenes. Very, very big thank you to everyone working upstairs who has worked on this event as well. So put your hands together for a fantastic capstone which has been put on, and it is my pleasure, my honor to be a part of something like this. I know that the people who put this together will go on to achieve great things in their future. Scarlett, I know you want to say some other.
Yes, our final thank yous go out to our sponsors for the event today. We want to thank Sweet Cabin for our delicious prizes that we're giving our top 2 teams. We want to thank University Esports for their constant support of this project. And we also want to thank Confetti, obviously, for giving us the facilities to do this event. Yeah. So.
Fantastic. Now,
this is it.
Thank yous out of the way, corporate stuff out of the way. I want to say thank you to everyone who may have tuned in from home. It has been an absolute pleasure to be here alongside you, Scarlett. Thank you to the casters upstairs, of course, as well. I forgot to mention them. And that will be all from us. So have a lovely rest of your day. Congratulations one last time to the Sussex Sharks. Goodbye.
absolutely huge there and devastating. Pokester storms his way through, still. Booga's fallen off the map. What?
Sussex Sharks win Gibraltar. Gonna be happy about that one. NeoJ committed resources to get in. Will he be able to get out? No, Neo Vaps lamp perfectly. Just no mistakes being made. But it will. They don't know. They don't
blizzard.
know. Oh, sadly, two of them dodge out, and Anna does get freeze her. Shield is up, but they just run past it. Booga's trap here.
Still a couple alive, but it's not going to be enough.
And Live Laugh Love put themselves on the scoreboard.
Finally. Pokester did fall there.
Moira's low as well. Crab, does Crab have the cooldowns online? No, he doesn't, and dies, and Booga's the only one remaining.
Live, laugh, love. They're going to take themselves a second map and continue pushing. Once again, Pokester trying to find the Daver. He's done it right here along the front line. A great hook, and it's once again.
But they just have to clean up now. The team is too scattered. The team is too weak.
There's absolutely nothing they can do. Once again, AJX, the winning condition for this round at least. Wait, he's got the kill, and there we have it. Sussex Sharks are your